it kind of speeds up because, like I said, 5 years ago, fruit flies didn't have arms on their heads. That's right. They do now, but the arms are completely useless. Oh, that's my brother Todd up there. I thought I seen him. What's going on, bro?
Ah, shit, James done creeped up in here.
Where that city at?
We have a grown man who just wants to instigate things like a female. Is that your start of the day? Hey, I want to be a little female-like instigator today between men.
Hey, James
That's your plan.
James is a Naga imposter.
Who you talking about?
Hey, I'm not an imposter. I'm not an imposter, brother. I don't claim to be a member of Naga at all. Whatsoever.
Man, you ain't got a damn thing to do with Naga at all.
I claim to be the son of the Lord of light.
That's not the God of Naga, nigga. That's some shit you made up.
I did not make up the God Valor. That is a
the relationship of that, whatever you call it, to Naga is made up. The relationship of that idol God you're attaching to Naga is made up.
Hey, when we had the debate, y'all showed a whole long laundry list of gods of light.
What debate?
So
we didn't have a debate. We didn't have a debate, liar. We didn't have a debate.
My bad, I'm talking to the Naga niggas. My bad. If you're not a member of Naga, why are you even talking about it?
Hold on. I thought this Naga brothers is responding to you.
When I brought up Naga, they said they not Naga. So I mean, why arguing with a person who ain't it about a fucking joke I play on them every damn day? Like, I don't understand.
It's a joke you play on yourself, brother.
Yeah, you playing a joke on yourself.
If y'all take it serious, that's on y'all.
You are a attention whore seeking attention, brother. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
Real quick, yo, James.
Hey, it wasn't attention whore when every day y'all was sending shit at me. It wasn't attention whore when y'all was on Facebook.
That's another lie. That's another lie.
Wait a minute.
That's another lie.
Okay, is Heru consciousness a member of Naga? Yes or no?
I'm asking you willing to go 5 minutes with Heru on evolution. You heard, Jay?
Oh yeah. No.
Okay, well, can you please ask them to not instigate things if we live?
No,
like that's childish.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out. We was live. Shout out to the crowd.
Hey, yo, I'm about to.
All I'm asking the brother is, can he handle and conduct himself like a damn adult?
Chill for
Please.
a second, Ruben. Chill. Yo, Jay.
Hey, my nigga, I'm about to start a call.
All right, so
I'll holler at y'all over there if y'all come. If not, I'll holler at y'all later. I ain't doing this.
I'm gonna pop out. I'm gonna check in with you. Yo, so James, you willing to go 5 minutes with Heru on evolution? Because it really wasn't your conversation yesterday, but you did get involved and you made some points. So I think that would be, if I'm choosing the next middleweight fight I want to see. Y'all want to do 5 minutes? On evolution.
Well, I'm a deistic evolutionist, so I'm not against it. I was just supporting the points the brother was made, because just because something is a theory doesn't mean everything in it is a fact. Some things are assumptions that are made within a theory, and that's all I was pointing out. If the brother points at an assumption within a theory, we can't not acknowledge that that's an assumption. We can acknowledge all the evidence around it, but we can't just not acknowledge the things that are assumptions, though.
Well, and with respect to that, I agree with you to a certain degree, because again, we're not talking about like your average everyday theory. What we're talking is it's a difference between scientific theory and a theory, and the scientific theory is based upon well substantiated evidence. So it's not just like somebody just taking just a guess. There's evidence to support it for them to even have that theory.
But that's not what I'm not saying that it's just an uneducated guess or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
No, I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying there's assumptions within theories
Hey,
because
dang, go.
a theory is only as good as its assumptions, right? That there's assumptions within theories, and we have to acknowledge that okay, there may be evidence, and this aspect of it is just trying to connect these two factual points, but there's nothing to really substantiate this connection other than the two factual points they're using in a circular fashion to substantiate it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, not
And I can acknowledge that.
Well, not necessarily, brother, because there is something called scientific method.
Yep.
And so these things are tested. They're you know what I'm saying, they're observed, and then they record the results over and over
I'm not
and
saying
over
it's
again.
not, brother. I don't
Well,
see why
I'm just giving
every
an
time I
example.
say
You know,
something, you'll bring up something I'm not saying and put it as a counter opposition to what I'm saying. You'll say, no, brother, because of this. I didn't say there wasn't no scientific methodology at all. I fully acknowledge the scientific method. What I'm saying is that
it's
even
just
within
not even the
scientific,
theory.
wait a
Then
minute,
if it's
Yeah,
scientific
it's
even the
really
method,
not,
scientific,
because it was a method
even the
applied.
scientific method itself is based on assumptions. And that's the point that I'm kind of drilling home.
So DNA is assumption.
The hypothesis,
Well,
yeah, it starts out with a hypothesis.
That's a
Yeah,
result of the scientific method. What I'm saying is the thing, like for instance, the fact that you have to observe something is part of the scientific method. But that
True.
also takes in it to assume that we observe things as they truly are. Right? We only can observe
What
things to a certain
methodology
Well,
did
let me
you
give
use
you an
that
example.
establish
Let me
that
give you
capital
an
group
example.
PL
Wait,
is
can I
prophetic?
land that point and y'all not just lambast me before it's even landed so the audience can get it?
Well, go ahead, brother. But I'm gonna give a point on this. But go ahead.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Anytime I give a point, you'll give a counterpoint that has nothing to do with the point that I just made. It's just a different point.
Well, this definitely is relevant. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, because it's
I
all
apologize
pertaining
to
to the topic, so it's
Okay,
relevant.
so as I was saying, right, that they even the observation in it is based on the assumption that we can observe things as they truly are. But the more we advance in science, the more we learn that we don't, as humans, observe things as they truly are. We have to start making different instruments and tools and things like that to help us observe things on different frequencies and things like that. And I'll land there for the moment.
Okay, so the example I wanted to give real quick, and this is something that a litmus test you can do at home for yourself. If I did this every day, 3 times a day for an entire month, let's say I take a teaspoon of baking soda and 4 drops of peroxide, and I apply those 4 drops to the peroxide, and I watch and I observe the reaction.
Yeah.
That reaction is not going to change as long as I keep the same measurement. I'm going to keep yielding the same exact result.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of scientific method, because now you put in you had it started with a hypothesis. You said, well, I wonder how much this would actually bubble. Okay, and so now you're put it to testing. You're recording the results every day, 3 times a day, for the next month, and it doesn't change. This is when you can come with a result, and now you have a what you call it
a conclusion, I guess,
a scientific conclusion.
But again, it's like you're arguing a point that I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that the scientific method is faulty or is something we shouldn't use. But what I'm saying,
when it comes to evolution,
hold on. I hear you. I hear you. But right now we haven't been talking about evolution. What we've been talking about is the methodology and whether there's assumptions there or not, which is what I'm trying to highlight, that there are assumptions. You're just saying, hey, well, we use the method and the method works. I'm not saying it don't work. I'm saying that if there's assumptions within it and someone points out that assumption and has a gripe about that assumption, I'm not going to ignore it and act like it's not an assumption. But what I will say is,
okay, so let me ask you this.
Let me say this last point, and I'll answer it. I promise. What I will say is, this is the best evidence we get from the best results we have using the best methodology we have. Go ahead.
Sure. Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask a quick question though. So based on, okay, when you mention assumptions, those assumptions is based on something, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
Correct. Well, the
assumptions are based on the results of rigorous testing, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer it, or as soon as are you gonna? I want you to answer. My bad. I said that wrong. I want you to get your full question out. Is that the full question? I don't
Yeah,
want to
that's
interrupt.
the full question. Those assumptions is based on rigorous
All
testing. Am I
theories,
correct?
yeah, all theories, no matter what kind of theories they are based on facts or assumed facts, right? All theories are. So no one is saying that. What I'm saying is there can be facts, but your reasoning and why you connect those two facts, if someone questions that reasoning behind it, that's not the same thing as questioning whether or not the facts exist. That's what I'm saying. Someone
Hmm.
can question the reasoning behind it and that be legitimate while not questioning the facts themselves. You see what I'm saying? So the connection can be
So
wrong
I
while the
mean,
facts
so
still
all
be
right.
right.
So an example of your reasoning would be like, all right, since the Africans are original, but the Southeast Asians got the same phenotype, we know reasoning that they come from the same, I guess, whatever source or whatever have you, right? That's what you're trying to say?
You talking about genetic pool?
Yeah, some shit like that.
What I'm
We
saying
know
is,
they
yeah,
sharing the same source of originality, basically.
yeah, we can know they share the same sorts of originality, right? But the question might be like when they diverge from each other, right? That
That's
may
what
be
I'm
based on
saying. But
assumptions. You
but
see what I'm saying?
but when
Not
they
the
come to
fact that they
diverse,
diverge
see
from each other.
they see. But when we go deep into the DNA, like the brother saying, and
But
just like
you
the
did. I
Chinese
think you
and the
stopped
Asians
talking
saying they
before you heard
evolved
the
from the
last part.
African, just like the Chinese and the Asians saying they
I,
evolved from the
that ain't.
African.
I think you missed the last part of what I was saying, brother, because you started talking about something else. I said it doesn't change the fact that they diverge from one another. I'm saying it may be questions over when they diverge from each other.
Yeah,
So the
okay,
when
that
may be
yeah,
the
yeah,
the
that yeah.
assumption. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the big red flag in that whole little scenario of myth and theory, when it comes to a theory and a myth, is the white man evolving from the black man. That's where the myth come in at. That's the theory right there.
Well, wait. Well, oh man.
I don't. I don't. I
It,
do you mean
I
dark
wouldn't
skinned
say I
man or you
wouldn't say
mean
that the
literal
white man
The
evolved.
Khazar man, the phenol-melanin man, the man that has the lighter pigmentation, that has a straight genetic defection.
But see that has everything to do with migration patterns, and it
Somewhat,
has to look at
but
their ancestry, and their
they
location
say that,
of a
but we
region.
see the mutation only resides in the steeps and nowhere else. That
I'm just
theo
saying though, all humans are 99.9% genetically the same. It's a myth.
um
It's a myth to say that the white man evolved from the black man. That's just a myth. That is so far away from scientific truth. It is
so you
unreal.
saying that the white
And I don't
man
even know
didn't,
where
right?
that pseudo ideology
You
came from.
saying he didn't evolve from the black man, right?
No, he didn't.
Thank you.
What they
I
did is
agree.
they took
I
different
fucking agree
migrational
with you. I
paths.
agree 100%. I agree. I said it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fucking
they
myth in
didn't
the
evolve
theory.
from the.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I just know how this. Put it
But
this way, I
where
know
did he come
how.
from?
I don't know where he
a,
came from.
a
I just
different
know
genetic
Well,
path
let
of
me say
darker
this. Let
skinned
me
genetics.
say
human
this.
beings.
Every
Because
human,
nature
every
hates a
human
void.
on the.
He didn't.
That's
He
the
had to
million
come up
dollar
with
question.
a
We all want to know where they
hypothesis
come
as
from.
to where he came
We
from.
just
Then
know where they reside in the carcass. That's all we know.
A different branch of dark skinned humans that we wouldn't classify as black.
well, nature hates a void, so we had to come up with a working hypothesis as to where he came from.
I mean, even the original peoples of the Caucasus were dark skinned. That's where I think that
Yeah.
we have to
Well,
separate
you
dark
got
skin from black.
again.
No, we
Again,
got
you
to
have to
separate that.
understand. You have to understand.
Come from
One
the
one big
Yam
one big
caught it
factor.
well coast.
Who is that?
This
One
your
one
big
big factor you got to look at is geographical location through
Yeah.
migrational patterns. And again, like we say, evolution is not linear. It branches over time. So
Mm.
you're looking at millions of years of people adapting to a certain climate, which is further away from the equator. But make no mistake about it. Every human being on the face of this earth has an ancient African ancestry. There's just
So
no getting around that.
y'all know who Richard Lickley is?
Well, where did the Africans come from?
Africa, I guess, shit, because that's where it
Well,
all.
Did the
you're
Africans
going
evolve
backwards.
from
You're
the
going
ape?
backwards. So
That would be the question then. If we don't know where the original person came from, did the original person come from an ape?
See,
no,
now
brother.
when we go
If we
there,
start
we
talking
go to
about
the
we
human
came out of
genome. We don't
Africa,
have
then we
no
have to have a point.
Neanderthal
I
How did
covered
we
DNA.
this
get in
yesterday.
Africa?
So
What we're
that's
looking at is
Humans
hominids.
are
that's a whole other
humans
study.
are ass apes though. So it's not
Say it
really
again.
I covered
You
this
break it up,
yesterday.
Bob.
Actually, we're looking at a branch of hominids.
we are, part of the primate family.
The
Right.
part of
Yeah,
the
what
primate
Ruben? I knew
family.
that
We
was
actually
Ruben. Ruben,
became
what you say?
bipedal over time. That's what separates us. We became bipedal, and in our hands and our hands and thumbs, our thumbs and wrists and hands is different.
So
That's the
that's the question.
assumption. That's
That's
the
the question
assumption.
I'm asking.
It's
Are
not
Yeah,
an
we
that's the
assumption.
assumption.
assuming?
But when they
Are
go
we
into
then?
the human genome, they
It's
have
an
no
observable fact.
Neanderthal traits that tie them back to the ape primate little old stage or whatever. So, and we know this for a fact because they still doing the DNA search between the link between the Neanderthal and the human. And they didn't push at first. They were saying it's like 200 or 400, but now they done switched it back to like 600 to 800,000. That's almost close to 1 million.
Did we ever establish where the black people came from?
Man,
We
as
came from
far as I'm
hominids. We
concerned,
came from hominids,
the
brother.
original melanated skin came from the continent of Africa. The
I mean,
diversity,
how did it get into
Yeah, but
Africa? I'm saying,
we
did
came
we
we are a
evolve from
branch
a
of hominids.
single cell
bruh.
organism to
Now
become
that right
this?
there, that's something you would have to actually really go and look into. Like I said, Richard Leakley. What's that one nigga that from the Ethiopian dude that
And
did the
y'all can look
little
this up right
remains
now. I'm
in
giving you the
Rift
answer. I'm
Valley
giving
and
you the
shit like
answer.
that?
That's why
You
I
would have
only
to go
accept
look.
deistic evolution, because this stuff don't make
We
sense without
actually come
a
from
guide and
a
principle.
branch of hominids.
All right, go ahead,
Yeah,
Haru.
that's what they say, a branch
Go
of
ahead, Haru.
hominids.
We come from a branch of hominids. What separated us is we became bipedal over time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we can stand upright. You know what I'm
That's the
Yeah,
saying?
they stand
assumption.
up upright
That's
men,
the
and then they
assumption.
talk about the
That's not an assumption. It's observable. It's
yeah, because they got
observable
the
fact.
remains and shit.
Okay,
They got the
can you
upright man.
show us the transitional fossil then? Show us the
I'm
transitional
trying to
fossil.
think. It's the
Brother, I'm not I
what is it
didn't even
called?
know
The
we was going
Transitional
live.
adults. I think
fossils
it's
for
called the
what? It's
adults.
like
For human
we
beings,
are
from an ape
hominids. We
to
still
our standard.
Yeah, we
hominids.
are
It's like
Hey,
hominids.
Still
I got
hominids,
you.
bro.
But there should
We are
be,
classified
Charles
as
Darwin said in his own theory that we should be able to observe the transitions for each stage in the fossil record. So I'm asking you to
And that's
provide
something
that.
that they still really can't find out, though. That's what they
brother.
trying to find
Again,
out.
this is on the fly. Let me
Okay, so
and not
let's
only
just,
that,
we can
hold on.
say they're
not
looking
only
for
that,
it,
Can I have the floor
but
for
that's
one
still
They
an
second?
still trying
assumption
to
until
find
they
that
find it.
transition between
not
them.
I
not
got you,
only
but it's
that,
an assumption until they find it.
Darwin's theory of evolution is outdated, brother. I'm like that theory has advanced so much further over time since Charles Darwin first posited it. You know what I'm
So
saying?
whose
So,
theory are you accepting now then? So we'll know exactly which one to talk about moving forward.
Man,
well,
oh my goodness.
to be honest with
Exactly.
you, I'm still on the fence with evolution because I still got questions. But
Like,
to sit here and
no
discard
one
the
is going
whole
to the
and
Darwinism
to
theory.
discard the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? It'll
I didn't.
be
I'm a theistic
ludicrous.
evolutionist, brother.
Well, hold on.
It'll be
Let me say
ludicrous
this.
to discard the whole thing because it is facts involved in the theory.
You
You
hear
know
me?
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. That's why I'm a theistic evolutionist. That's why I don't. I'm not
Bruh,
against
bruh,
evolution.
you
Just
you
point out
claim
what
to
the
be a
assumption
deist.
is.
You claim to be a deist, but you calling yourself a
Okay.
human god that's in the image of your father god.
Damn, what the hell?
Some, I mean, you're a walking contradiction, sir.
Do
You're
not
a
take this
walking
man serious.
contradiction, sir. I just had to point
Everybody
that
knows
out.
that is a troll. Look, he mad because he can't answer my question, so he talking about something I do as a troll.
Nah,
Like, come on,
no,
bro.
no.
Stop
I
it.
answered your question,
I
brother. I
can't
answered
listen.
your
I can answer
question.
your question.
This is
You
Okay, can
crazy.
asked
you
me.
provide the transitional
You
fossils?
asked
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I
go
asked.
finish my point.
Transitional
But
fossils.
hey, man,
a
Go
I
ahead.
don't know. They
transitional
trying to find
fossil
him
for
like
what,
that
brother? For
transitional
For
what?
fossil.
humans, I need the transitional fossils for each
Look,
You
stage
don't
man.
need
change
a
from
transitional
ape
fossil
to
for
man.
humans. You
Why not?
don't need You don't need a transitional fossils to show that humans descend from apes when humans are apes.
Mm.
And the
It's
truth
that
is,
Humans,
all you
simple.
need.
humans are
I
as
pointed
apes
this out
only in
yesterday.
modern
Everybody missed it.
times. Only in modern
Molecular
times have humans been
molecular bio.
classified as apes.
If y'all
Listen,
are
molecular
taking
Who
that
is that
molecular
talking? That
position,
brother sound like
biological
he said
evidence.
everybody missed it. What he finna say? He probably finna say something important. Let me
if
hear what he got
y'all
to
are
say.
taking that position, then y'all must be, I guess, proponents of the Big Bang Theory, that this is all an accident. It's an unfolding from that
No, that's
perspective.
not what the big
Hold on,
bang
before
No,
we
is
go
I
not an
don't
too
accident.
far,
necessarily
before we
subscribe to
go
the
too
Big
If
far,
you
Bang
let
say
Theory
Haru
that,
Big
jump
neither.
bang
back
is
in.
not an
Big
accident.
Bang?
Before we go too far, let Haru jump back in.
Who is that gonna drop a bomb? Somebody's gonna drop a bomb.
I'm about to drop this bomb right now. Watch this. Okay, so first of all, I don't have a PowerPoint put together, James. So you asking me to put something out here right now on the fly? I can't do that just in a matter of seconds. But what I'm going to tell you is this: you're talking about the transitional fossil records, right? Okay, have you ever heard of the Cambrian explosion?
Hmm.
Have you heard
Yes,
of that?
I'm very familiar with the
Oh,
Cambrian explosion.
elaborate on that for him, brother.
Okay, so now we're looking at during the Cambrian explosion, you're looking at multiple species arising at once, or evolving at
Correct.
Like
once.
they said that mosaic. I forgot what they were saying on that shit. But yeah,
well,
I
what
know what he
caused the
talking about.
Yeah,
explosion?
that's where
So I don't think that there's no
all the
no
What
different
caused the
phylums of the
Hey, let me
explosion?
tell
animal
you
You
can
can't
something.
start. Was the
appear
Every
explosion a
because
cause and
simultaneously
because
as
don't cut
effect?
they
me off
appear
again.
today.
What caused the
Yeah, like
explosion?
None of
that's that
this,
one
none of this is
statement.
And the
transitional
laws
fossils.
That's like
None of
that
this
one
is
statement
that
from
transitional
was the
Listen, what
fossils.
I'm
explosion.
saying, the transitional fossils. This is where the uneducated gets slapped at, because
I only
because the
asked
thing
for
is when
transitional
they try to
fossils.
use.
Why are you talking
Hold
about
on,
other
listen.
stuff?
This is what they say.
Oh,
They
let me
try to
hear what he
use
got to say.
they try to use the term missing link. There is no missing link.
Mm.
There is no missing link.
In the
That's an
explosion, there's no
uneducated
missing link in
approach
the
to it.
explosion theory.
I never once used that term. I didn't say you did.
I'm
I'm
saying,
just
who's
clearing the
saying
air
there's
on
no
that because
missing
a lot
link?
of people, when it comes to fossil records, they say, "Oh, there's a missing link."
Yeah, they do.
There's no missing link.
There's a
The
missing link.
Cambrian explosion
But saying
actually
where's the
actually
What
transitional
the
phase is
the
basically saying
Cambrian
there's a missing link,
explosion
though,
that you're
insinuating.
discussing, the Cambrian explosion, what caused it? And what caused the laws to then come from the explosion? Because we're talking about
well,
laws
you're
that is
you're
created.
looking at
They
mutation.
don't know what
You're looking
caused
at
it.
Then
mutation.
that's the
They're
missing link.
calling
If you
it.
don't know what caused it, then that's a missing
They,
link.
no,
You
it's
have an
not a missing.
What
explosion
caused
Hold
it?
that
up, Daryl.
unfolded
Hold
to
This
up,
is
where we are
crazy.
Daryl.
now. This is what you said.
Daryl.
You said we had an
I guess you didn't
explosion
hear that.
that
Daryl.
unfolded to where we are
It
now.
was Daryl. This is what it's saying. The Cambrian explosion is not talking about something blowing up. It's talking about all the different animal
Yeah, a
phylum on the
vast.
planet
Yeah,
appearing in the fossil
yeah,
record at the same time as
yeah,
they appear
yeah.
today.
And it's like
Okay,
a
So
well,
when you
then
go
let me
to
mosaic.
ask you a question
asking,
They
about
said,
that.
so when you
yeah.
go to asking for transitional fossils, what's the need for them if all of the animal phylum
Exist.
appear in
Yeah,
the fossil record
yeah.
simultaneously as they
As they
appear
do.
today?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, let me
here would be my
respond to that.
question. Here would be
Can I
my
respond to
question to what you just described. Was there an intelligence involved in that?
Shit, the force of nature. Shit, if anything,
But no, this is what I'm saying.
that's what
If
they
that was an
blamed it on.
Well,
explosion, if
we
that was
don't
an
know.
explosion
We
or
don't
an
know that.
unfolding and everything unfolded at this once, was that
I
an
think it was,
intelligence
brother.
guiding that process, or was it doing it accidentally?
Are you
I
leaning?
think it.
I don't believe it happened by accident, and it
Then
had to be some intelligence
Then you got to
involved.
then
give
let's start right
TNT a
there.
minute.
You
Then
know
I'll
what
give
that's
I'm
him
saying?
the
a minute.
So,
starting
so
point.
I
If
would have
that's
to
the
agree
starting, you're
with you.
starting at the point of the unfolding. We need to
It's
start at the
like
point where what
I
caused
would
the
have to
unfolding.
agree with you. I would have to
And if
agree with you that it was
what's that
intelligence
shit called?
involved, and that it wasn't a mistake or accident. It
What's
wasn't a
they
okay,
call
random
then
that shit?
thing.
let's
Natural occurrence, a
stop for a
natural
second. If
reaction,
there was
natural
an
some shit.
intelligence there, could that have intelligence done it another way? And once
Man,
we
the way they
understand there's an
talking, it's
intelligence
some
Hey,
shit
first,
called
and this
hold on.
natural
intelligence
I
is
want
occurrence,
everybody to pay
unlimited
attention to
reaction, or
in
something.
some
its
shit.
I
potential,
wasn't
Basically
able
what
that's
to
he
the
talking
respond to
starting
about.
that.
point.
Hey, I want everybody to pay attention to something, because you have to look at the terminology that's being used here. When you say accident, there must have been some kind of intent behind that. When you say
Mm.
accident, so I don't use the term accident. I don't believe that there's no intelligent design behind it.
It's
What
like
I
a
Well,
what I
then,
natural,
see
what they
what I
call it, the
see is what
natural
I see is
occurrence.
what I see through rigorous testing and through my studies, 4 years at Youngstown State University, what I seen was diversity being established through species, through genetic mutations of different now because you have plant life, you have aquatic life, you have human life, right?
Yeah.
And all of those things, come on, man. At the end of the day, the more I study the universe, the more I study evolution, I see that it's independent of a
Yeah.
creator. And let me explain why I
Independent
say
of a
that.
creator.
Hold on. Let me say why
Through
I
nature.
I'm
say
asking
that.
you to just
Through
repeat that
nature,
part.
man. I'm telling you, it's that natural occurrence shit that they
I'm
was
just
talking
asking you to
about.
repeat that part. You say it's
Darwinism shit.
independent of a creator. That's your position?
Yeah, so let me finish my statement.
Yeah,
Let me finish my
I
statement
was
of
just asking
why I
about something
said
you
that.
said.
Hold on. Let me say this, bro. Let me get this out. Okay, so when we talk about intelligent design or creator, most people and most religions, most faiths all across the world, they would attribute intelligent design or a creator to be all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when you look at the earthquakes, tsunamis, the fact that this earth could get hit by a meteor at
Yeah.
any point, that's not very intelligent. Not to mention, look at the birth defects. Some people are born with birth defects. They're not born perfect. So there is no intelligence behind that, in my opinion.
That's an emotional argument instead
I
of
guess it's
a
just a
logical
genetic.
Right,
argument.
Is
right.
it
You
a
can
genetic
minimize it if you want to,
intelligence
brother.
then,
I
maybe?
mean, I can actually see the logic in what he's saying.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't
yeah,
say
I
that I
get what he's saying,
necessarily
but then
agree with it, but I can see the logic in what he's
yeah, but
saying. Cause I
then
mean,
I would ask him, is there like you know what I'm saying, intelligence as far as in DNA size wise? Like, is the
Hey,
DNA or the biological makeup playing God or what? Like, what is going on?
Let me make a point real quick, especially to what was said a little bit earlier, to ignore the request for transitional fossils by trying to focus on
I
the
didn't
Cambrian.
ignore it, brother. I just don't have a
Brother, let me
PowerPoint
speak. I let
put
you speak.
together.
I let you speak, brother. I didn't interrupt you.
I'm just
Let me
saying he's
speak.
asking for something
Hey,
on the
brother,
fly, and that's
Hey,
let
hey,
me
y'all,
speak,
come
go
on.
ahead,
brother.
brother.
Let's just let the brother
Hey,
out.
can y'all ask Hey Rue to be quiet for a second and let me
I
speak,
will.
please?
I
All right,
will.
All right,
let
thank
him
you,
talk,
brother.
bro. Let him
Thank
talk.
you. So he tried to jump to the Cambrian explosion, which would be billions of years before the transitional fossils I'm requesting, to try to get around the point. The Cambrian explosion is so early in life and the forming of life that it has no implications whatsoever to the transitional fossils I'm requesting. And that's the main issue I'm having. And that's why he wanted to cut me off, because he knew I was going to bring that up. Anybody can look at the Cambrian explosion and then look at the time frame for the transition from ape-like creatures into modern humans. And this is billions of
but,
years.
but
But
brother,
what
you
time
missing the
frame
point
are
that
they?
modern humans are still
Yeah,
ape-like creatures.
but
Glossing over that fact.
but
You know
what
you
time
know
frame
the
is
difference
what is
between
the
what
time
they're
frame?
describing, the ape-like creatures that our ancestors are supposed to be, or what our
Yeah,
ancestors
and
are supposed to be,
Neanderthal
and
come in
us
the picture,
today.
but
We know the difference. Stop that.
I just want to know like what time frame window is they referring to when they talking about the transition between ape and humans stage or whatever.
We talk about what we talking about, the last 3 million years or so.
That's too much. That's too long.
Wait, the
That's
Cambrian
too much.
explosion is how
Right.
long ago? Ask him how long ago the Cambrian explosion was.
It
I'm just
was
saying
longer than that, but the
What
you
Cambrian,
said the
specifically?
but the
Cambrian
How
Cambrian,
explosion
much longer? How much
was
brother,
longer?
the
billions.
Cambrian explosion was longer than that ago. But the Cambrian explosion is telling you all of the animal phylum appear in the fossil record as they
But
appear today.
I'm not questioning the fight. There was still transition since then, according to the theory of evolution. And
Where's the
for this,
transition if
wait,
they?
I'm trying to
Where
speak,
is the
brother.
transition if they appeared in the fossil
Look,
record
you
during
know
the Cambrian
who is
as
not
they appear
confident because
today?
they got to cut off the other person because they're not confident in their position. If
Bruh,
if you're
No,
bruh,
confident in
no,
your
I'm
no,
position,
asking
no.
you
you a
sit there and listen
question.
Man,
for the other
listen,
one to
man.
finish.
Nah, I'm asking you a question, bro.
But the
Listen, when we
Cambrian
dealing with this
explosion
Cambrian
was how much
explosion,
earlier
you're
then?
looking
Because that was a response to the question
hold on.
what I
Brother,
said
that's
earlier.
9 seconds when you consider the fact that the
How was a response
Cambrian
to what I said?
is 9 seconds once you consider the fact that the Cambrian is explaining how all of the animal phyla
But see,
I'm not
appeared in
questioning
the
the animal
fossil record
phyla,
Hey, a
bro.
human is a part
simultaneously
of the animal phylum, brother.
as
Hold on, hold on.
but I'm not
as
questioning that
they
aspect.
appear today. So
Again,
if it
you can't
appeared,
argue something I'm not
in the
saying and try to
Cambrian,
force it on
What?
me.
I
That's
don't know.
ridiculous. I'm not saying
brother,
that.
listen.
Hold on, man. Listen, there was Precambrian life and transitional forms prior to that. I don't know where this
I
guy
didn't say there wasn't. Y'all keep making up stuff. I didn't say it wasn't.
but I don't know
This
where
nigga
he's
switched
coming
his
up with
name
this.
to
There was
Abdul
Precambrian life and
What
transitional
the
forms
hell?
prior to the Cambrian explosion.
Okay, I didn't say there was not
I don't
transitional
hold
forms
on.
prior. What I'm
I don't know
saying
what
is
the
that
disconnect
I'm
is.
asking about the transitional form as it applies to the ancestral ape-like creature that they say was our ancestor and us today. To go back to the Cambrian explosion is completely irrelevant to the question I asked. I'm not going to harp
It's
on the
not.
Cambrian explosion.
It's not.
Okay, can you give me the time frame for the Cambrian explosion? Because I gave the time frame for what I'm talking about within the last 3 million years. Can you tell us the time
Give
frame
us
of the
a
Cambrian
just
explosion?
give us a time frame real quick, please.
Well, the Cambrian explosion actually happened like probably roughly like what 540 some years, a million years ago.
Billion or million?
Million.
Oh, okay. That's like the what's that one
But
shit
Let's
what
called?
I'm saying,
grant
what I'm
let's
pointing out,
grant that even though
The
we're not sure. Let's grant it.
Pangea type of shit and all that type of shit.
Well, that'll be billions. But
No, I'm
let's
just
that'd
saying
be
they was just
billions.
like
Yeah.
up in them time frames and shit.
well there was life. They thought it was life during that time period. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I remember. But I don't go too off far.
I mean, like for instance, you could look up the Burgess Shale in Canada. I mean, and similar deposits all around the
Okay.
world. You can look this shit up, bro.
And
And
what does that prove as a transitional fossil? What does that prove?
it proves a lot. It proves a lot because
Okay.
because at
we
the end of
had
the
life
day,
on Earth, though.
Well, I'm not disagreeing that there was life on Earth. That's what I'm saying. Like my disagreement is that we actually have what the theory of evolution says we should have, which is the fossil record, which shows each transition from this ape-like
I ain't gonna lie,
creature
that's what
into
they're
modern
looking.
human.
That's what
if you pay
I don't mean to
attention to
cut you off.
anything I
But
said,
the thing about it, they do have but that's what brings my questions into
Just
play.
name,
Yeah,
just
but
name them.
then like that's
But
what
let
I'm
me
but let's
saying.
finish.
get
Like,
about
You
bro,
were
all
just
right,
crying
so
about
look,
being cut off, brother.
it's
That's what
crazy.
brings all of my questions into play
Yeah,
because
because they do have like
once you look at these fossils, the timelines overlap. So that's why I still have
that's
questions.
why I'm saying what I said earlier about the 800 and the 600,000, and it's close to 1,000,000. So once we throw that out there, you really ain't got no room to be wiggling. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you gonna have to squeeze in from 100,000 to 200, maybe 50,000 years. And I don't know how you gonna do that. You know, so good luck. You know, I don't know.
So what you're saying, the fossil records are the same with the Cambridge
Man, like
explosion?
for instance, what was it? I forgot what remain it was that they was trying to say we descend from, because it was one of the remains that the dude Eric Nees was trying to throw at us, and that's when I found out the same one that he was using is the one that they found no missing. They found that it wasn't no link between them. And like Ruben said, the shit was overlapping, and it made to where I think the goddamn human and them was existing at the same damn time. So they said they knew that the human didn't descend from their hominid or some shit like that. So Ruben is right. I got the information somewhere. It's some old shit. Like, it ain't old like that, but like it's old to me because we've been smacking up trolls with that shit.
So you're saying the Cambrian explosion shows
I
the
don't know. No, I
fossil
ain't saying nothing about
back. No, I'm
that
asking the
shit too
question.
far back. I ain't talking about nothing in no billions. I'm talking about shit between like a 600.
I'm asking the question about the explosion. The explosion says that
My
the
bad.
fossils
I can't answer
today
that for you. I'm gonna leave that
are
to
the
the
same ones
brothers.
as the fossils were back then. Is that the position y'all are taking?
I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I can't really speak on that. I'm gonna let that go.
Well, whoever was saying that the
because there wasn't no
fossils
modern humans
back
back
then
then.
have the same pattern that the fossils today have. That's what somebody was saying.
The animal phylum that appear in the fossil record during the Cambrian still show the same phylum that they do today. That's PHYLUM. If you want to look that word up.
So if I'm asking the question, you're saying that the pattern that they had back then is the same fossil or genetic pattern of today? Is that what you're saying?
No, that was a goalpost move. I didn't say anything about genetics.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get clarity as to what you're saying. The Cambrian explosion, the Cambrian explosion tells us. What does the Cambrian explosion tell us about then and now? So I can get clarity on that part.
I
It's
mean,
telling you that
it's a
all of the animal phylum that we know today appeared simultaneously in the fossil record. That's what it's telling you.
Yeah, it remind me of that one shit
But
about
I
that
don't see how
mosaic
that has
shit.
and
anything
let me
to do
say
with
this. Let me say this. The
um,
Cambrian explosion is actually it's really a critical event in the history of life.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's representing a time of rapid evolutionary change,
Mm.
and it does pose changes for what's the word I want to say? Identifying like clear transitional fossil records between the Cambrian and the Cambrian organisms. The time period immediately follows um, like the explosion. It provides like a wealth of transitional fossils to help scientists basically understand evolution in modern and animal groups.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, um, the explosion is best understood as a period of accelerated evolution. That's why I brought that up.
So
But
it's
it
like a
doesn't
high,
have
it's high
anything
in
to
the
do with
early
the
stage of it.
transitional
Its highest
Multiple
peak.
fossils.
factors combined drive the rapid emergence of diverse and complex
Yeah, at
life.
its highest peak.
That's why I brought this up.
But it has nothing to do with the transitional from ape-like creatures to modern humans,
It
which is what I requested.
well, what you're asking for,
uh
what you're asking
right.
for is confirmed through molecular biology, brother.
Not only that, it's
We
like
don't
you
even need
have
the
to
fossil records anymore because molecular biology proves it all.
So because you don't have the fossil record that
Listen,
I requested, you want to
brother.
try to lean on
We
something
we
else.
do we have
James
enough
That's
Cassell,
all
fossil
you're doing.
records.
can can
We
you
have
Y'all
enough
been letting me
pinpoint
fossil
go talk
records
a
in
whole lot.
transitional
I'm just
form.
can
going
you
back to the point.
pinpoint James Cassell, can you pinpoint between
Can
which
I finish a sentence?
can you pinpoint between which hominids are you looking for a transitional fossil for?
Right. That's a good question.
Okay, let's go from Australopithecus to today's modern human.
See, look, that nigga said he went to the what,
Okay,
the
so
$1 million million,
Australopithecus
is it the
africanus. Australopithecus
yeah, that's like the
africanus, right?
Yes, and show that
that's
there's
the
no missing
is
link.
that the
Go ahead.
what's that
Well,
bitch called? The
again, we're going to
ergat,
cover
what
that.
that
We covered that
motherfucker
word with as far as missing link, man, brother. Why do you insist on
Right,
using
because
What, what,
missing link?
they not
hey, look,
telling you
you
we
can
can't trace them.
disagree with the. Hey, look, that's a scientific term. No matter if you like it or
They
not.
not
But I've
saying
given
that
you
we call.
before.
Scientists don't
Are they
use
When
that
when
saying
you're
we
anymore,
come
talking,
brother.
brother,
directly
wait,
from Australia?
brother,
Scientists don't
you
use
gotta
that
let me
no more,
finish.
yeah,
brother.
It
I
can't
was
be
saying
three
that's what
people
I'm
talking
Outdated.
saying,
every time I
brothers.
talk.
Y'all know what
Every
the
time I
brother's
open my mouth.
basically asking for? That brother's asking for natural selection. That's what he's asking for, y'all. He want to
Yeah,
know
but
natural
it's
selection.
like he's asking for natural
That would
selection as Darwin posited.
no,
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
he's
saying?
doing. That's what
And
he's
that's been
doing.
proven false already. That's
but
already
I
been
had
proven
the
wait a
false.
minute.
words. I had the
I asked him
words wrong. It's
wait a
natural
minute. I asked
selection.
him whose exact evolution are we talking about, so I can only speak to that one. And guess what they couldn't do? Give me a name.
Man, hey,
So give me a
Because
I
name.
don't even
it's
really,
not no
I
one
don't even
name
know what
on
to
it,
put it
brother.
like. I don't even
Confuse
know
it
what to call it
and
like
talk
It's
that.
not
about
no. That's
I
like
just
tell me
brought
that's
that
whose
like
up
that's
because
evolution
like
you
you're
was
talking
putting
asking
about.
one
for it.
name.
Shit.
That's like putting one name on the study of genetics. That's
Yeah,
like
like
putting
I
one
don't even
name
know
on
how to,
anthropology.
you know what I'm saying? I
That's
No,
just
like
study
putting one name
genetics,
on
basically. That's
biology,
all
brother.
I
Come on.
did, bro.
no, that is not. I'm not saying it has to be a person's name. I'm saying what is the specific evolution you're talking about? Because we're talking right now. You're saying I'm talking about Darwinian evolution. Fine.
Basically, it's
Okay.
natural
Wait a minute.
selection,
Let me
brother.
finish.
Brother,
If
hold
you
on.
cut me
I
off,
couldn't
he
think of
won't
the
let me make
word,
my
but
point.
it's natural
He
selection.
will not let me make my point. Right now, you're saying I'm talking about Darwinian evolution. So I'm saying, okay, if Darwinian evolution is not the topic, What kind of evolution are we talking about? And y'all are crickets.
Bro, we
Look,
talking
we're
about
not crickets. For one thing,
Okay,
brother.
then name
Go ahead,
it.
Harold.
Name it.
Look, for one thing, man. I don't know what the hell the disconnect is here, but for one thing, you're not letting people complete what they're talking about. You know what I'm
I
saying?
so
talk the
this is
least,
what I
brother.
say. You know what I say? You know,
I
have you
talk the
looked at
least.
wait. This is what I want to tell the brother. I don't even know I don't even know what to call it, but I can just tell you this. You know, when you looked at the happy little groups and they talk about these little mutations and they got this little acronym SNP bottles, it says something about singular
The SNPs.
have you said
Yeah,
politics?
singular nucleotide polymorphism.
You know what the
Yeah,
hell I'm
SNPs.
talking about?
You talking
That's
about the
what it
I'm just
breaks
saying. I'm
down,
phylogenetic
just
bro.
tree.
I
saying.
don't know what he's talking about, but
You
that
talking about
deal
the
No,
is like
phylogenetic tree?
because
the
I'm
brother
gonna tell you.
Ruben
I'm gonna tell
said.
you right now what I'm talking about. What you're doing right here, what you tried to do is you brought up Australopithecus africanus, right? But you
Yeah, that's what he
forget.
did.
You hold on, stop, bro.
Okay,
Don't cut me off. Do not cut me off. Because
that wasn't me.
this is a solid point right here. You talking about where's the link? The link is now you're looking at what they call that Homo habilis.
Yeah,
Am
Homo
I correct?
habilis, you got
Am I
yeah.
correct?
Apiarine,
Am I
all
correct?
Ergaster, what you
Eragaster, you
call?
got
How you
all
say it?
the way up to Homo
Yeah,
erectus.
he
You
was
got those
faster
steps.
human
Exactly.
So
motherfucking
so
presence
that's why
Which
I
one?
asked
Okay.
you between
They
which
said genetics
hominids.
was the standard. Which one of them have been proven by genetics?
That's
Go
why
ahead.
I asked him between which hominids are you looking for transitional
Hey, I
fossils
just
for?
asked them. Hey, look, I hear you. Genetics has been said to be the standard, according to you guys. Y'all brought up
Brother,
genetics. Which
are
one
you
of them has
asking
been proven
are
to
you
be our ancestors genetically?
are
Go
you
ahead.
asking for genetics for Australopithecus, brother? Are you really
Wait,
doing that? Are,
or
I'm
are
is
you
only
he
really
asking
asking.
are
for
you
I'm
really
genetics
gonna
only
of
throw
the
that
asking for the
logical
He's moving the
fallacy
standard.
at us?
goalposts,
Africa?
bro, because
I'm
he's
That's
asking
wrong.
for the
one of the
He's
standard
two.
that
moving the
you
Like,
goalposts
established.
because he's
can we
wrong.
get
I'm
a
only
clear
asking for the
answer
standard
to
that you
this
Bruh,
established,
question?
sir.
bruh,
You
genetics,
established
the
that standard.
genetics, brother, the whole human genome hasn't yet been mapped out.
It
Like the
Yes,
hasn't.
it
like the
has. Yes,
haplo
it has. It has.
like the haplogroup CF
I
that you
knew he was
tried
gonna
to
say
tie
that.
to the
The whole
sons of
human
Noah,
genetics
it has not been dispersed in anyone alive or dead yet. The
Yeah,
whole entire
the whole
human
human
it's
genome
like
genome
they
has
has
not
found
the
the
been
whole
mapped
human
out.
homicide
And
made
genome.
you
up
Here's
black
the
asking us
kicker.
motherfuckers or
for
something.
genetics
Here's the
for
kicker.
Australopithecus. Let that
That's why I laughed
marinate.
at that shit too.
Can anybody look? You can see that Francis Collins has mapped out the whole human genome, and not only have they mapped out the whole human genome,
Okay,
they've
where
mapped
have
out.
they
Let
found?
me finish. Let me finish.
Where have
They
haplogroup
mapped
CF
out the
been found?
whole
Yeah.
Neanderthal genome.
Where
They mapped out the
where
whole
has
Neanderthal
haplogroup?
genome as well.
Okay,
This is a
point to
liar.
Bro,
me, point to
I need him
me,
to look up.
point to me the population
Oh,
or
you're trying to change
fossils,
the topic because you were
brother.
wrong.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Point,
Stop what
point. No,
Francis
I'm
Collins
not.
mapped out the
I'm
human
dealing with
genome.
your fantasy right now. Don't cut me
We're gonna
off.
stop what
Point
Yeah,
out
Francis
to
let
me,
the
Collins
brother.
brother
mapped out
talk,
the human
Point
please.
out,
genome.
brother.
Anybody
Point
can
out
please
to
change
me
the
Come on,
the
topic.
man.
population. Point out
Changing
to
the
me
topic.
the. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You said that we did
Let him
not map
finish,
out the
brother.
human genome. Brother, you
Okay,
said we did not
okay.
Every
So
time
map
you
let
out
try
the
to
me
say
get
human
my
something
thought.
bad
genome.
here, man,
So
you cut
let me get
everybody
I'm
my
off.
pointing
thought
that out,
out
and he's
to
That's
show you
crazy.
trying to cut
how.
me off.
Let me get my thought out to show you how, brother. Because you
Well, you
did
cut me
you
off.
because brother, you put together a model connecting Y-DNA haplogroup CF to Japhet, right? So
What?
point to me,
Okay.
point out to me the living population or the
That nigga
excavated
funny.
fossil belonging to
This is not an
haplogroup
ad
CF.
hominem.
Go.
This is an ad hominem attack. This
How's
conversation
that an
has
ad
nothing to
hominem
do
attack?
with. Let me finish. This
How it,
conversation.
how
Let
it
me finish.
ad
What's up,
Look,
bud?
he
It's a
me to
brother,
let him
I
critique
finish
on
just
is
asked
Micro
you
it's a
open.
critique
since
of your
you
all
work.
right.
say the
Let me
whole
Yes,
finish.
That's
since
man.
why I'm
you say
laughing
the
at
whole
you.
Let me
Yeah,
you
what's
finish.
up?
you who say the whole
Can you
genome been
finish?
mapped out. You
Can
said
I
the whole
finish?
genome has been mapped out.
He did
Can you
say that.
point
Can I
out for me?
finish?
Can
He
you point
said
out
that.
for me the population that belongs to YDNA haplogroup
Can I
CF?
Yo,
finish?
hey, yo, my brother
Can I
Ruben got the
can I
strongest
finish?
microphone in North America.
Cause that nigga, that shit is
But
holding all
I
that
Hey, yo,
shouldn't be.
stuff.
Wait
chill.
a minute. Wait a minute.
Y'all
Notice
That's
gotta
Big
let
everybody
the
Nog.
brother
jumping in
respond.
and not
That's
Go ahead.
letting
Big
me
Nog.
finish. Every time I go to respond, 3 or 4 of them Naga niggas jump in. They
Man,
won't let
come
me
on, don't
finish a
do that.
thought
Don't
because
don't
they
do that
need
now.
help.
Don't do
Every
Look,
time we
Man,
respond,
now
you
the
right
nigga
here.
just mediated for
they
you.
doing
What
it
you
right
talking
now.
about?
Go ahead.
Bro,
But there
don't
was
do that,
another
bro.
Tennessee who mediated for you.
Let me know when I can talk, moderator, please.
Come on, man.
Without them interrupting. I'm just asking for the same fairness he cried for.
That's fair. Go ahead, yo.
All right. Now, again, the point that I was making, and look, we don't have to sit here and talk about things outside the conversation. You brought up the fact that the human genome was not mapped out. I pointed out that Francis Collins.
I said the
Hold
whole
on, hold on.
entire
Let him
human
finish. Let him
genome.
finish before you go.
That's all it takes, because he did say that, and everybody heard him say the human genome was not mapped out. Because I heard a brother in the background say, "Hey, I don't even know if I say all that," because Francis Collins is famous for doing that very thing. Not only have we mapped out the human genome, we've also mapped out the Neanderthals genome. So the brother needs to either retract his statement or prove that I'm wrong.
Well, let
And I
me
can
put
put
this
Well,
difference between the two.
I put information in the
well,
chat.
the
What I,
CF haplogroup has not
hold
even
up,
really been
let me
fully
respond.
We're
Let
not
me
changing the
respond.
topic.
explored.
This is what they do. This is what they do. They
This
chop
nigga
and
just
screw.
shot
They
himself in the
always
head.
hold up,
Let
Dave.
him respond.
He always chops and screws what's actually said to him. Just because you from Texas, don't make you DJ Screw. What I said to you, brother, was the whole entire human genome has not yet been mapped out. You remix what I said to mean that the human genome ain't been mapped out.
Okay, so
We
what
know that
part
the
of the human
human
genome ain't been
genome,
mapped
we
out?
brother, some of these haplogroups are hypothetical haplogroups.
Literally, you hear me? Literally, bro.
Like the one you chose to tie to a biblical character.
Right.
Hey, wait, hold up. So wait a minute.
That
Now
motherfucker
notice this.
too
Has
old, bro.
it,
Come on, man.
has the sequences, brother, hold up, wait, let me
Okay,
cook,
finish.
let
Go
me
ahead, finish.
cook, let me
Brother,
cook,
you
don't cut
talking.
me
Hey,
off.
get your stuff.
Man, brother,
You going too long trying to get your stuff. Go ahead.
Let me
talk
cook.
to me, King.
Is haplogroup CF part of the human genome? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Has it been mapped out?
Yes.
No, it hasn't.
How? How
You
has it
lie.
been mapped out?
Yes. Hey, look.
Okay.
I'm about to put a
This
phylogenetic
nigga lie,
tree
You
in
bro.
the
said
back.
yes.
I'm gonna put a
You
phylogenetic tree in
answered
the
yes.
back.
You answered yes, right? How
I
has
did.
it been mapped out with no living
With
population
no living
belonging
person
to
living,
the
it's
are dead?
hypothesized,
They
bro.
haven't
Hey,
found a fossil
let me
with this
respond.
haplogroup
Can I
yet.
respond?
They
Or you
haven't
just
found
keep
a
piling on?
mummy with this haplogroup yet. They have not found a chimpanzee with this motherfucker. No
Yeah,
dead
and
humans
that's and
nowhere
you know
in the
and
fossil
that's
record
bad. They
belonging
don't
to this
find
Okay.
that
haplogroup.
motherfucker. You
All
hear
right.
me?
All right. Now,
Get him, King
let me
Nugget.
respond without anybody
Get that
interrupting.
nigga
Watch
King
this.
Nugget.
Watch this. Because
How was it mapped out,
Hold
James?
on, hold on, hold on, Ruben.
What
Let him
method,
let him
what
Wait,
finish.
Ruben, let him.
methodology
Hold on,
did
hold
they
on,
use to
Ruben.
map it out,
Wait,
let me
James?
respond.
Hey, Ruben,
wait,
let him
Ruben,
finish, bro. Let him
Wait.
respond.
Be quiet and let me respond. You got to compose yourself if you're a man out here. All right. I'm gonna
Lord,
tell you
come
exactly
on,
why.
man.
We know this because of the genome. We do have the human genome going back to A00. We know this.
Oh
And we
no,
have
you going too far. No, stop.
Hold
No, fuck
on.
no.
let me
Nigga, you
Hold
finish.
got
up,
the white
hold up,
bird. That
hold
nigga
up.
just
Wait,
freestyling.
let
Shut
me
the
let me
fuck up.
point
He don't
out.
know what the
Let me
fuck he
point
talking
out how
about.
he
Nigga
just
That nigga
grabbing
gathered
ain't
his
grabbing
free.
the
own
white
That
self.
nigga
ball.
freestyling. He don't know
Hold
what the
up,
fuck he
Dane.
talking about.
Hold up, Dane.
Moderator, can you establish
Dane.
order?
Let me ask you. Dane. Dane, when
Man,
we go to A00, can we find people alive belonging to this haplogroup
yes,
and
even in
dead?
South, what was
Y'all
that?
done got
South,
me in trouble.
When we go to
Carolina?
A1, can we find
Man,
people
we go to
alive
A1, we going
belonging to
all
this
the
haplogroup
alpha on
and
this
dead?
nigga,
Could
bro.
not find
What
it.
is this nigga
Could
talking
not
about?
find it.
Can I
Why
finish?
we can't find nobody alive dead
Can I
belonging to
finish?
haplogroup CF if it's
Shit,
been mapped
because
out, Dan?
shit, because
Explain. What is the
man,
methodology used to map out the genome of CF?
He
hey,
speaks and he
say,
let
man,
everybody
this nigga
speak
funny.
over me
Say,
and won't even let me speak. So the moderator, everybody be quiet and let me respond. Can we do
nah,
that,
Yeah,
brother,
moderator?
you
I would
cut
like to know
yourself
what
hard.
methodology
Hey,
was
hey,
I
used
feel
to
like
map
you jumped
out the
all across
genome
the
of
board. This
haplogroup
ain't
CF.
Douglas, boy.
Look, like I brought up A00. Like, let me finish it, and then you'll get the complete idea instead of
Oh my
everybody
goodness,
spazzing out because you're gonna lose. All right.
man. Okay,
Don't
A double
lose.
wait a minute. A00 is carried by people living today. like Ra-Born Allah. If anybody watch Sinetta, they know who Ra-Born is.
Oh my
Ra-Born
goodness.
Allah carries
Oh my
A00.
gosh.
CF is known to be
And Ra-Born.
CF is a haplogroup because haplogroup C and haplogroup F, which people do carry today, both descend from a common ancestor called CF that split
No,
from wait a minute that
no,
split
it's
through
BT,
CT.
nigga.
Let me finish.
BT, nigga.
I'm not, look,
Stop.
be
You don't
quiet
know
real
what the
quick.
fuck you talking about, bro. Shut up,
CT
bro.
is the
Nigga don't know what
father.
you talking about, bro.
CT is the father of CF and DE.
No, man. That
All right,
shit
Oh
start
my
I'm
with
God.
gonna
BT.
put you in the
That
back,
shit
and
start with
someone told me that's
BT.
your
Then go to
phylogenetic
CT,
tree.
CF, DE, DE, or what? C
I'm
and
about
break
to
down and go
show
to
you right
Southeast
now.
Asia, but you don't know what
I'm
the fuck
gonna
you talking
show.
about, boy.
I'm
Shut up.
gonna,
Shut
hey,
up.
look.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey,
Shut
look.
up.
Anybody pull it up?
Shut
Anybody
up.
pull it
Yeah,
Somebody
we
get
we
the
we
ambulance
do
to come and
this.
pick up your
We do
Anybody
this, boy. You
pull
don't know
up
what
the
you talking about.
phylogenetic tree and put
You
it up
need to
on the
shut
screen?
up. Just
Put up
stop.
the
Stop
phylogenetic tree
right
on the
now.
screen.
Just stop.
Why they don't want to see it?
The
Why
nigga
they
just
don't
Because
want to
you
see
don't
it?
know
bagging
what you
himself.
talking
He's
about.
bagging himself.
Show the
Bro,
Because
phylogenetic
you
it's
killing
tree.
gonna show
yourself,
you
bro.
what we telling you. CF is a hypothetical group,
This
brother.
nigga killing himself,
That
bro.
hasn't been
Then he
mapped
jumped way
because
back
they
to
haven't traced
AOO.
it to
He
nobody, brother.
ran straight to Africa.
Exactly.
How you
They
go
Exactly.
from
haven't
how
traced
you
that shit to
bro? How you
nobody,
go from
alive or dead,
bro? This
brother.
nigga went to the Middle East, then jumped right back into the continent. This nigga's a man. This nigga's lame, bro.
Phylogenetic tree. Why
Boy,
won't they
you
show the
lame,
human
bro.
phylogenetic
You
tree?
better stick to the Middle East, boy, and stick to that Hebrew shit, whatever you got going on, because that shit not gonna work. That shit not gonna work over here.
Hey,
Get
anybody
him,
That
bro.
shit
Get
not
him,
gonna work.
James.
why phylogenetic tree?
Boy,
Put it
you
on the
stop
screen.
stop where you at right now. Just stop. Just please
I'm gonna
stop.
show you right now.
Man, you can't show us nothing about that tree, boy. You can't show a nigga nothing. You
Can't
can't
show
even
nothing
get the
about that damn
timelines
tree.
and the letters right between A and CT, nigga. You cannot fuck with this. You
Hold up.
gotta
I
fall
got
back.
I got a question for him. If the if the whole entire human genome, brother,
This nigga just talking.
Hold on.
listen, brother.
Show me
Listen,
what I'm
brother.
asking for.
Hold on,
Listen,
James.
You
I'm
cut
asking
yourself
you.
Hold on, James.
I'm
when you
asking
spoke
you
on
because
it.
you made the claim, brother. You made the claim that the whole entire human genome been mapped out. If that's the case, brother, why does the timeline keep getting pushed back further with,
You
with,
hear
with
me? That's why I threw that out from the jump, bro. This nigga's cutting
why,
himself, bro.
brother? Why does the timeline keep
Man, this
getting
nigga
pushed back
cutting
further
himself, bro.
if the whole human genome been mapped out, sir?
Man, this nigga cutting himself, bro. Man, I'm
The
done with this shit,
further
man.
they
This
go
them niggas
off
that got
into,
egos, bro.
the further
Niggas
they
ain't
go
here to
off
tell the
into the
truth.
human genome, the further the timeline go back. And that shit ain't stopped going back as long as I've been studying genetics.
I'm telling you, and they keep pushing it back, bro.
Ruby,
That
you
shit went
just
from
gave this nigga a
4,000.
whole dagger.
That shit went from 400,000 to 600 to 800. Nigga, they do not know what's going on, fool. Fuck this nigga talking about. Now, nigga, we stay within a million time frame, not 3, nigga. Fuck is you saying?
Can you tell me that CF?
Motherfucker,
Can you
it's
show
Man, this
me
time.
nigga killing himself, bro.
This
Can
is
you
funny,
show me
man.
CF don't descend from
That
D
a
from
time
in the
came
back
out.
chat?
He said, show him what?
This guy's a con. James is
Hey,
a
Ruth.
con artist,
Hey,
y'all.
Ruth.
James is
Hey,
a
Ruth.
con artist.
Hey,
Like
Ruth,
he tries to pose intelligent questions and things like that, but really when you start unwrapping this shit, you find out that he's very uneducated on the subject.
Hey, I'm looking in the back chat right now. Hey, Ruth, are you saying that? I see you looking. Are you saying that CT is not the father of CF and DE? Are you saying that?
Man, where did CT come from?
Brother, I'm telling you.
Where did
right now,
CT come from? Because BT is before
yes or no,
CT.
bro? I asked you a yes or no
Thank you, brother,
question.
because thank you, brother, because you actually said what was on my mind. Where it come from, bro?
Man, a nigga smoking rocks, bro. Tell that nigga shut up, bro.
He still won't answer it.
Where it come from, James?
Hey, he still won't answer it, y'all. Look how
No,
pathetic
I'm
this is.
listen, I am answering you. Where it
I'm
come
gonna hang
from?
up, bro.
The chart right now, and we don't gotta answer the question.
Where did it come from, James?
Is CT the father of CF and DE? Yes or no? You're looking at this is a true or false question. It don't require no explanation. It just requires a yes or no. Is CT the father of CF and DE based on the chart back chat?
No, and it's the incorrect model. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm very transparent right now. I'm gonna say
Can you give us the proper model?
No.
Man, I'm ready to go.
But he can't. He say it's incorrect, so we need to proper number if that's
Everybody on
wrong.
this, everybody on
So I'll
this
put
on this
another
call,
one in the back.
everybody on
So
this
I'll put a new
call
one in the back.
that
Is this one
studies
wrong
Do I
genetics,
too?
recognize
Is this
know
one
he's
wrong
capping.
too?
Friday? What you want to do
We
tonight,
know
man?
he's
Hey, we'll put
capping.
another one in the back. Tell me if that's
Huh?
I'm just saying, bro. Where did you? Who extracted DNA from Noah's family? Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Who
that's
extracted DNA from them? Where's the body,
that's not the claim of my presentation. That's not
brother?
the claim of
Brother,
my
hold on.
presentation.
I'm just
If you
saying,
watched it, you know
if
that.
you're
That is
gonna
not the
tie
claim
if
of
you're
my
gonna
presentation
tie
at all.
if you're gonna
Wait a
tie
minute. Wait, tell me when I
DNA,
claim that.
if
Tell
you're
me when
gonna
I
die,
claim that in
if
my
you're gonna tie
presentation.
DNA to these people,
Nah, see,
no,
now
I'm
you
not,
running. You
bro. It's
making up stuff,
relevant what I'm
saying I
telling
said
you.
it, but I never
It's
said it.
relevant what
So
I'm
you're a
asking
liar.
you.
You're a liar, bro.
It's relevant what I'm asking
Every
you.
time I've called you, I've proven you a liar. I pulled up
What
the
lie,
phylogenetic
bro?
tree. It
Y'all
proves you
love
a
to throw
liar.
that. Y'all love to throw that
You
word
brought
around. I'm tired
hey,
of being
you brought up
your
the
fucking
Cambrian,
liars,
you
man.
brought
Show
up
me
the
what lie I
Cambrian
just told.
explosion. I
I
showed
didn't
the
tell no
Cambrian
fucking lie.
explosion is so
I
far
didn't
ahead of
make a
what I'm
claim.
talking about that it
I
can't
didn't
even be
make
on
a claim
topic
for
anymore.
me to lie, bro.
Everything you've
I
said,
did not
I've shown you a
make a
liar
claim for
today.
me to lie.
Everything.
I did not make
You
a
did.
claim
You
for me
said the
to
Cambrian
lie. Where
explosion.
did the lie
You
come
said the
in at?
Cambrian explosion explained.
Where did
You
the
said the
lie come
Cambrian
in at,
explosion.
brother?
I'm telling you.
I
I'm
did
telling you
not
right
make
now.
a claim to
I'm
make a
telling
lie.
you. Be quiet. Yeah, you did.
Man,
You
no,
claimed the
you
Cambrian.
be
You
quiet.
claimed the Cambrian
I'm
explosion
sick. No, I'm gonna
explained
I'm
the
gonna put an
transitional
end to this
fossils
lie shit.
from
What
hominin
claim did I
to
make
modern human.
that you
Hold on,
found
yo,
out it was
James.
a lie?
Hold on,
You
hold on, yo,
claimed
Answer
James.
that
the
question.
Cambrian explosion explained the
Answer that question,
transitional
brother.
fossils.
You
You
apprentice and
explained.
all the
You explained
motherfuckers
every
got
one
that
of
shit
them.
bad.
Be quiet
Show
for
me
a
what
minute and
claim
hear
I
it.
made that was
You
made out to be a lie. Show me. Show me. Tell me.
right here.
Otherwise, shut the fuck up calling me a liar, bro. I'm not a liar. What lie did I tell?
Why you won't
What
answer?
lie did I
Why you
tell?
won't? Okay, I'm gonna tell you. The first lie is that you claim that the Cambrian explosion explains the transition from ape-like creatures to modern humans when it was
That's not what I said.
millions, hundreds of
That's
millions
not
of
what I
years
said.
before that.
This is being
The
recorded
second
live,
thing
so
you did,
I didn't
you
say that.
claim that I said that you claim that I am connecting based on DNA finding from fossils that Japheth is CF. That is not the claim of my presentation whatsoever. That based on DNA fossils, that is how I'm correlating Japheth to having anything to do with CF. That's a blatant lie by you. And it tells that you didn't read it. I've even published articles on it. You didn't read an article. You didn't watch a video. You just looked at the title and went crazy.
Hold on.
That's all you did.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I think you're conflating.
Because if you would have watched that video, you would have noticed that what I say in the video is I lay out the whole phylogenetic tree in the video. The whole
Brother,
phylogenetic tree is
brother,
in the video.
Hold on.
So before you
brother,
even bring that up, you're not
brother,
even
this is the
understand
point.
that
This is the
CT is
point.
the
This
ancestor
is the
of both
point, brother.
CF and CE. For that silly ass
This
dude to go over there and try to go off and act
this
like I was wrong about that.
is
Y'all
the
silly.
point, brother.
Y'all silly that
How
I let
are
come back.
brother?
This stuff
How are you or any geneticist alive today tying something or anything back to haplogroup CF when there is no one carrying this haplogroup alive or
Today.
dead, brother?
Exact. That's my point. Thank you, King. Because I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of people conflating what I say and then you turn around and say I'm a liar. I didn't lie about shit. I just want to know that. How the fuck did you come up with this particular haplogroup and there's nobody dead or alive that carries it? Can you explain that? Okay, I guess it's crickets now. That's all I'm saying. Quit calling me a fucking liar
Look,
because you put
read that in
words
the
in my
back
mouth.
chat, Haru. Read that in the chat I just dropped.
Let me see here. Let me see here, King. I got you. Okay, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Hold on, brother. Just drop this in the back chat right here. Hold on. This is Timotheus. Hold on, King Naga. Where your thing? Where your? Oh, I see it. Okay, it says here there are as yet no confirmed cases of living individuals or human remains belonging to the basal. Hold on. You guys are still typing back there, and I can't get to the. Come on, can y'all. Let me just click on it so this shit can stop, so I can read it. Okay, it says there are as yet no confirmed cases of living individuals or human remains belonging to the basal uh, undivergent haplogroup CF. In the year 2017, C-M217 in quotation C2, which is correct, and C-M130 were reported amongst males belonging to the Shan people, who are concentrated in East Central East Burma, as well as neighboring paths of China, Laos, and Thailand. However, researchers concerned, uh, what's that, Bernelli, did not rule out of other subclades subclades of CF, such haplogroup such as the haplogroup F in these particular cases. In haplogroup in haplogroup F2 has previously been identified in the same geographical location. Wait a minute, brother. Did you hear that, James? I think he done ran off the call.
Yeah, James dropped off. He said he couldn't get a word in.
Nah, but because man, he up here. What he doing, man? Is he's trying to give you a bunch of word vomit and conflate and mix up what the hell we actually saying, which is bullshit. And he can't show nobody dead or alive right now that covers that actually holds that haplotype of what he's talking about. The haplogroup CF. That's a fact.
I just know.
And I'm sorry. I would not waste my parents' money like that to go to school and let this dude get on here and just fucking lie
And not
and
only
clown.
that, bro, there are even some of the subclades of this mystery haplogroup CF that are yet to be found in anyone living or dead. Even some
Mm-hmm.
of the
Mm-hmm.
subclades fall up under that mystery. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, bro. You could probably tell this shit to people who don't study genetics.
Right. And see. Watch this. One thing he don't understand about haplogroups, how they evolve. All it takes is for this is like us on this call right now. We decided to migrate out to a land that's not touched. Okay. And we start intermixing with other tribes that's near in that area. God damn it, 40, 50, maybe 100 years from now, you're gonna have a whole different haplogroup. So I want to see how did he come with this thing as far as CF? Because ain't nobody dead or alive got that haplotype.
And bro, you got to think about it. Even if you go all the way back to the what he mentioned, AOO, you go back to Y Adam, mitochondrial Eve. There are people alive and human remains that these haplogroups have been found in. So how can they find the oldest haplogroups in living populations and human remains, but not haplogroup CF? You got to think about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. What happens is a lot of times, man, bro, I'm gonna keep it real. The whole reason for James even coming face on this whole thing, he was trying to save face for the boy Prentice. I get it. It's brotherly love. But the brother is wrong. What you should have did is pull him to the side and say, you know what, brother, let me help you learn this. because you're wrong. Not sit up here and now all of a sudden now you create a whole different argument from what that man argument was. That's where this all started from. Because
And bro, I get what you're saying because I was once, what I'm saying, one who I was strong on the side of intelligent design, and
yeah,
I totally ruled out evolution. But now I'm on the fence, what I'm saying, and that came through back and forth over the years with Mugabe, what I'm saying,
man,
and in order to
that man
have
was brilliant.
he know evolution like the back of his hand. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But in order for me to dialogue with him on that topic, then I had to study evolution.
yes, sir.
I had to study it. You know what I'm saying? In order to have that conversation with him.
Well, how do y'all take a position that an intelligent designer did not incorporate in this whole unfolding evolution aspects
Well,
of
Well,
evolution?
let me say this. Let me answer your question. I don't include an intelligent designer or God in my research or study. Never have, even during my years of college. I don't use the God of the gaps. So things that things are still a question to me. I'm still researching. I'm doing. I'm trying to do the work, so to speak, to figure out these things before I just rule it out and just say, oh, it has to be intelligent design behind this. And no scientist does that. Even I'm gonna just let me put this number out here. Do you realize that in the scientific community there is probably 85% scientists that do believe in some kind of intelligent life form outside of us, right? But they don't include that in science. But the higher you get into the ranks of education, so to speak, people that have their masters and doctorates, you'll find that number shrink down to about maybe about 7% of scientists, elite scientists at that, actually believe in a creator. Why? Because they're not going to use the God of the gaps. So that's exactly where what I'm trying to explain right now. I'm not ready to concede and just use a God of the gaps because I can look and observe a lot of things around me that know that it's not intelligent.
Well, the
There's
reason
there,
a lot of
there's
the reason a lot of the scientists get to a certain point because when it comes to this black energy throughout the universe, they have to then incorporate that. And if they're going to keep a particular narrative in place, they then must always some type of way marginalize what this black energy is. Because once they get this black energy and you start asking questions about it, it then will connect you to another set of answers and another set of what's called the fecundity of an idea. All the things that spring from it. So all of the scientists that you're quoting, I guarantee are white scientists because once they get to this
mm,
black energy and start asking the question, does this black energy possess some type of intelligence?
well,
And
I
if they
tell you
start
this,
answering that
brother.
question,
Well, we gotta listen real quick. We gotta go back to the basics on this one. Was this brother Daryl McDay that was just talking?
yeah,
Yeah. So we got to go back to the basics on this one. Like the brother that was talking before you, he has a point to a certain extent. Now what we gotta understand is that the physical science takes the qualitative properties out of the universe, and only deals with the quantitative properties of the universe. And when I say the quantitative properties of the universe, I'm talking about things that you can hold and touch and add weight to, and things that you can add depth to, and things that you can apply to a mathematical equation, which is why they don't factor in the qualitative properties of the universe, which would include a supreme intelligence. So they don't include or involve a supreme intelligence in science for that reason. And we can have and the father of physical science is Galileo, and that's something that we can thank him for because he was the one who suggested taking the qualitative properties out of the universe in order for us to understand the natural world, or the universe is what we call it.
but
Thank
still,
you, brother, because
but
I
still,
think
but we
you
still
have a
have to go
firm
back.
understanding.
So
I
what
think
you're
you have a
saying
firm
is that they
understanding of
stuck.
where I'm coming from.
No,
But
what
what you're saying
there,
is that they start then at a point of explosion without ever asking the question prior. I mean, they've asked the question, but because once again, it takes them to then deal back with this black entity that resides throughout the universe. Is it the intelligence that's creating all of this? and they understand that he who controls the image of God will rule the world. Therefore, they have to leave certain things out, because once again, if you start connecting certain dots together, it will bring you back to a particular understanding that this black entity does possess intent. And then if they start connecting that, then it brings us into the equation. Are we not connected to it like no one else? And can we interface with it like no one else can?
Well, Daryl,
so therefore, all of our scholarship that we take from them. And we then take it as to be a truth.
Daryl, here's what you got to look at.
Stop it.
Real quick, I
Listen,
just want to say two things.
I'm gonna prove you guys wrong on something. I'm gonna prove you guys wrong on something. Cause
hello,
African biologists. There are people of all different nationalities that come to this common consensus of what I'm talking about. Science is not limited to one group or nationality of people.
No,
and nobody governs that shit.
No, right. Correct.
You got it wrong. That's what peer review is for.
No. Well, okay, what I'm saying is that there's a certain point in science that has to become philosophy. So you start then describing certain terms. That's what I'm saying. They make sure that they keep certain terms in a particular sacred space. So once again, blackness is always tied to darkness. Then you can never bring it to the you can never bring it to the category of light.
Well, you know my position. You know my position on what it is. Yeah, you know my Daryl. You know my position on what it is. You talk about. We had a conversation about this, Daryl. You know my position. So you know that even though I came in and I talked about the quantitative versus qualitative properties in science, you know I stand on the creator. I know that I stand on the creator because the question that I did want to ask some of the scientific brother who was talking. Who's that talking in the background?
Yeah, it should have switched.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
The question that I want to ask a brother, like, let's be objective about something. There was a brother who said that there is not, or he doesn't consider an intelligence behind everything that is created. Now, objectively, you've seen that through all your life. Anything that was created, whether it was a car, whether it was a house, a basketball, or some clothes, or it was some clothes, a cell phone, has a creator. So how can you So how can you objectively look at creation and say that there is no creator?
I wanted to say that this is Abdul brother creation. Speaking. I've been listening for about an hour, and the brother just said what I was going to say, because those shoes on your feet, the cell phones, the towers, the computers, all this, the quantum computing, this stuff wasn't just random.
Correct.
And I ask my brothers all the time, take some sand, right? Take a piece of leather from a cow with blood on it and take some other little material, shake it up in the bag, right?
Correct.
And then pour it out and see if we're going to get a Rolex or a smartphone or anything intelligent.
Wait a minute.
You can't.
Wait a minute. Let me respond to that.
Just let me finish, brother. I ain't even
go ahead.
Yeah, let him go in. Let him finish his statement. Then you say your statement.
There is no way you're going to be able to do that and get something intelligently created to fall out. Henceforth, that the creator was intelligent and the design was intelligently designed. I'm gonna go back on mute.
Correct.
Okay.
You know,
I do want to respond to that.
I find points on both sides of the argument, and that's honestly why I'm still on the fence. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I can't rule out intelligent design, just like I can't rule out evolution. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this here. Let me say this right quick, brother. If there is an intelligent designer, right? He don't give a fuck about this world. He really doesn't.
That's just
or
your
she
opinion,
or whatever.
That's your opinion. That's an opinion. That's your opinion.
I'm gonna justify my opinion. Let me finish. Let me justify my
opinion.
Let
him finish, because I'm gonna justify it too.
Because I mentioned earlier that there's natural phenomena that happens. Tornadoes, there's hurricanes, there's all kind of shit that affects our life as we know it. Okay, so for instance, even I brought up birth defects. What's intelligent behind that?
Can I answer that?
Well, sure, brother. I wasn't done, but go ahead.
If there's a law called cause and effect, and tornadoes and earthquakes and all the things that you mentioned, if there's an intelligent designer and that intelligent designer put these as effects, it then makes us contemplate what's causing the effect, so we can then correct behavior. You start looking at things and you categorize them as bad. It's like saying a toxic
Right,
environment. Now,
right. I was
a
gonna go
child
there
comes to
too.
a toxic environment.
Right.
Now,
Me
when you
Right,
too.
look at this, no,
right,
it's something that we humans are doing that's causing this. And
Yes.
once we understand how to understand creation from a mathematical lens, we don't categorize things. A tornado is bad. It may be
yep,
bad because of
right,
the results that it caused, but something
right,
caused that tornado to
right,
do that.
right,
And we
right.
don't have the
This,
capacity to understand an intelligent design.
right,
So we have to stop and say, well, are we doing something to cause tornadoes, birth defects? And once, especially with birth defects, most birth defects are the result of something.
right,
And once
Yes.
we come
right,
to understand and looking at creation like
right,
that, then we'll start correcting human behavior.
right. And
And
you got
once
to look at,
human behavior is corrected, then I think all the things that you mentioned will also be arrested.
right,
Right.
right. And you
And
got
if I
you got to look at
add
it
on
like
to
this.
what Brother Daryl was saying, I do plants, I, breed cannabis, I create my own strands, right? And if
Right,
I keep breeding the same strand over and over again, guess what happens? It starts to destroy itself. Defects.
Yes.
Defects.
right, right,
Yes.
Period, point blank. So I don't understand. I'm been listening for an hour and I'm still not understanding the denying of the intelligent designer.
right.
Like
Well,
period,
here,
point blank.
let me answer that. Let
I
me
like
answer that. I
I
gave an
like to
answer to that.
clarify if I can at some point, but go carry on. I'd
I'm
like to clarify as why I deny intelligent designer, and I'm going to use the example of a tornado when you guys give me the chance. So, but go ahead, get your point out, and I like to hear the perspectives of others. But I want to put some clarity on something.
I hate to throw electromagnetism into the discussion, but that's the common theme when you're talking about tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, humans, planet Earth, the sun, stars, the moon. That's the common thing.
Yeah, but that
you
does
gotta
not mean
expand. You gotta expand on what you were just saying. I felt that was a vague statement. I know where you're going because I do
God is
study
right.
electromagnet. I do study electromagnetism myself. I know where you're
Well,
going, but I don't want to make any assumptions before I respond to what it is you're saying. So I would like you to expand on what you just
well,
stated right there.
there are electromagnetic processes associated with earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, biology, and geology. It's
Correct.
like even on a universal scale, it's like even if you want to go down to the micro scale dealing with matter and subatomic particles, it's the common theme, electromagnetic processes.
Correct.
That's the
Correct.
common theme.
so. So how does that then tie into it not being a creator though?
Right. Right. That's what I was wondering because it was a vague
I
statement. I'm
mean,
like, well, yeah.
I
Where you
mean,
going with that?
because if I was gonna creative, then it would be light, because light creates matter. It's been demonstrated. I mean, I've observed, demonstrated, and repeated over and over again that light creates matter.
Well,
That's true.
well,
And let me say
well,
this. Let me
light.
say
When you
this.
Remains
saying
light.
when you're
Let me
saying
say this.
light,
I wouldn't say. And when you say light, do you mean visible light, or do you mean light that is
Nah,
beyond
nah,
our? Listen, let me finish the question. When you say is light that created matter, what frequency of light is it the frequency that's in our visible spectrum, or is it the frequency of light that is beyond our visible spectrum? Because we only
well,
looking
when
through
I
we only see through
right,
a
we only
cosmic
looking at
peephole.
we only see 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum.
Uh huh.
So when I say light, I'm referring to the whole entire spectrum.
Good
I'm
job.
referring to
Good job. Good
I,
job.
I'm referring to the force carrier of the electromagnetic force
Okay. Yeah.
when
Good
I
answer.
mention
Yep.
light and
Yep.
all of its wavelengths and frequencies.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Ruben,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Good
because
answer.
because we
Yeah.
see certain spectrums, right? But
Yeah.
animals see different spectrums, right? We don't see
Yep.
how a cat sees, right? We don't. Our eyes aren't capturing all the light, especially in the nighttime. So we're not
Right.
seeing all of the visible spectrum.
Right.
We
Right.
only
And
see what we
right.
see as the rainbow, right? So
Right.
that
Right.
means our eyes are limited. I'm gonna go back on mute.
Right. Right.
And, and,
No,
and then
and to that brother point,
and
listen to his
hold on
point.
real quick. Just let me land it real quick.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
from our limited vision and from what we observe, we're coming up with these conclusions.
I was just about to say that. I ain't got nothing else to say, man.
Hey,
I was about to say that, bro. I ain't got
I
nothing
just
else to
want to
say.
say
This
this
is
though.
Abdul, man. This is Abdul, man.
This is
I
Daryl
just want to
Cosmos.
say
Right,
this,
because we gotta keep in mind that 0.0035% of the
Right,
electromagnetic spectrum accounts for all that we observe.
right. And like to the brother point, he said we limited to what we can see. We're limited to what we can see with our eyes. So who are us, a finite being, limited finite being, sit there and say there ain't no creator or an intelligence
well,
behind
well,
it all?
let me
That's
say
coming from
this, brother.
emotion,
Let me
man.
say
That's
this.
coming from emotion, man. When you say something like that,
No, no,
when you
no.
when you
Let
no,
me say
listen,
this
let me
is
finish.
logic.
I didn't finish. You cut me off. Let me finish. You can talk. That's
Okay.
coming from emotion when you say such a thing. For you to sit there and observe the universe, to observe creation and say that there's no creator, that comes from emotion, man. And then also
Okay.
you have to consider this. You have to consider this because what we call science, in my opinion, is just an opinion from me. From my opinion, what we call science or what we consider science needs to be looked at a little closer and redefined. Because, like I said, Galileo is the father who is who they consider the father of science, of natural science. Now, he's the one that took God or the creator out of the equation. And who is he?
Yes.
Who is he? Now, who is he that we need to accept what he considers science by taking the qualitative properties like love, compassion, things like that, things that can't be measured with math or put into an equation. Who are we to accept that? So we need to come into the science and reevaluate it and redefine that because we just can't sit there and accept what he said science is and just ride with that.
Okay. So can I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. I'm done.
Okay.
Let me
So
start for you, brother.
this is
When you
what
get
I'm
done.
trying to tell you. All concepts of gods and goddesses, and there are many. There's probably over 5,000 gods and goddesses is known in the world today. All these concepts come from the imagination of man. There has never been any god that has exposed itself and verified one thought over the other. So what you have is concepts based upon the imagination of men. Okay, so for instance, we talk about love and compassion. I got a video right now on my phone of a dog burying its own dead puppy. This dog ain't human. Why would it even care?
But we
Well,
who
I don't
said
know where you was going with that, man. I
right?
mean,
Who said
yeah,
Well,
because
well,
that's
my
going to
point
say
is,
that animals are
that
stupid,
my
right?
point is,
yeah,
That's going to
yeah. I
let
don't
me
know where you're going
finish.
with
wait,
Let
this.
me
just let me
finish.
get this
Let me
out.
finish.
Animals are intelligent.
That's
I don't
going
know where
to
you're going with
say
that.
animals are
God damn, I
stupid and
can't
they
finish.
haven't been operating the way the Most High wanted them to operate since the beginning.
Wait a
Hold
minute.
on, bro.
Wait a minute. Back up, man. We kind of going into another realm of things. I don't know how animals got into the equation, but animals
Well,
are
because I'm
intelligent
making a
and
point here.
they operate
Hold on,
the way
man.
they should.
Can I
They
say
do. They
something?
operate exactly
You
as they
guys, you
should.
guys will not let me finish what I'm saying for whatever reason,
I
and I don't
apologize,
understand
brother.
it.
Abdul apologizes.
Yeah. I apologize too. Well, I guess we was just trying to get the point because it's
I'm
almost like
trying
you.
to give you the point. I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to
Go
give
ahead.
you the point of me bringing this up because what we're looking at, in my observation, there is no creation. We are simply the macrocosm to the micro. We're the
Did you just say
microcosm
that?
to the
Okay, never mind. Go.
macrocosm.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay,
Yes,
so hold
I
on,
want
hold
to
on,
go
hold on,
after
hold
him,
on.
brother.
With that being said, animals actually they're from a whole different phylum, right? And so they animals don't build no altars to nothing. Animals don't worship shit, but yet this dog cared enough to bury his own puppet. So what I'm saying is that can you show me intelligent design behind that? Because not all dogs do that. But I'm just saying this particular dog did.
Are you saying that wasn't intelligent what that dog did?
Right.
It's the intelligence of his own. What can you prove that something motivated that dog outside of that dog to do that? And I don't think you're prepared to act. Hold on.
That's why Galileo.
Listen,
Okay,
listen, listen.
go
And
ahead,
I don't
go
think
ahead.
you're prepared today to prove you're God or the Most High like you claim outside of Scripture. I don't think you're ready to do that.
Well, number one, I don't. Well, number one, I don't stand on. I don't stand on the scripture. I don't stand on the Bible. First of all, I believe in
Well,
a
I
creator
can.
that exists.
I can.
And number two, this is exactly why. This is exactly why the qualitative was removed from science, so that you can only believe in what it is you see and hold and touch in front of your eyes, and so
Mm.
that you don't believe in a supreme intelligence. Now there is a supreme intelligence. If that dog is conscious, there was a intelligence behind that is controlling that dog or driving that animal to do that, and that is the consciousness.
Can you
The
prove
reason
that
why we're
though?
all
Can you
conscious.
prove that?
I'm trying. I want to go after him, and I'm going to prove
No
my
one, no
answer
one, no
wrong.
one, no one can objectively prove that the unseen. It's the unseen taking place, man. The reason why this is the difference between spirit and corporality. Corporality is tangible to corporeans. You understand what I'm saying? Spirit is tangible to other spiritual things. As corporeans, we can only see the effect that the unseen has on corporeal things. We can't tangibly see the unseen. We can only see the effect. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I can't give you something that's unseen and say, hey, here's proof. Look, this is the unseen. Which is why neuroscientists have a problem with understanding where consciousness is found in the brain, because they don't know where it begins and where it ends, but they know it's consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Now the proof. Now listen,
Yeah.
listen. The proof of consciousness, and I'm using consciousness as an example because consciousness is unseen. I can't show you what my consciousness looks like. I can only express it through my corporeal body. You understand what I'm saying to you? Nobody can show you something unseen and prove it. But if you can't see it, then hey, you have a natural right to be like, hey, since I can't see the unseen, and no one can prove that the unseen is present within things that are within things corporeal things that are given life, then hey, ride with that.
Yeah, and it's like my hypothesis on consciousness is that it is another electromagnetic phenomenon. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it
That's
ain't,
my
brother. It ain't got to be a hypothesis. Consciousness is an electromagnetic
yeah,
phenomenon.
because
It ain't got
because
to be no
because
hypothesis.
right, because our brain waves and neurons are electromagnetic. Our brain waves are
Exactly.
electromagnetic. So that's why how I make that connection. It's not a established fact in science that that's exactly what consciousness is. But there are hypotheses
Right. Right. Right.
of
Well,
that. You
it's
know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
it's cuzzo.
And
I
that's
I
why I
will call
stand
it
on those
I will call
principles,
it a back
man.
I will
Of
call it a
God is light, light
backchat
is electromagnetic.
scientific theory, and this is why I call it a backchat scientific theory, because everything that we know through, when I say we, I mean humans through science, is that everything that exists inside of the brain that we understand happens through electromagnetic synapses and chemicals, electric synapses in the brain.
Yeah.
Every time
Yeah.
if you close your eyes and you start to visualize something, you're not seeing real pictures, but you see pictures. Every
Woo, Tim.
every
Mm-hmm.
every
Mm-hmm.
time you have a memory. If you sit right now and you think about something you did when you was 3 years old, that memory is stored through
Yeah.
electromagnetic
Yeah. Let
signals.
me let me let
Yes,
me let me add to
Tim.
that. Let me add. I
Fire,
wouldn't. I
Tim.
wouldn't necessarily say.
Fire.
I wouldn't necessarily say that image isn't real. That image is very much real. It just isn't tangible. It's happening on another level. You see what I'm saying? In another realm.
Wait,
It's
brother.
real. It's
Yes,
just
I
not.
agree. And let me
I
add to
wouldn't
that.
call.
Let me
Hold on,
add to
brother. I
that.
wouldn't say it's not tangible because if you could picture a scene that happened 30, 40 years ago, a birthday or whatever,
Yeah.
and if you smells and it pops those memories back in your head, that's tangible.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. It's not corporeally tangible. It's not something
Okay,
you can
yes,
hold
sir.
and
I
touch.
got you.
Let me rephrase that. Sorry about that. I should have added that in there. It's very much tangible to the senses that's in your mind, because you do know your mind has senses also, as well as the corporeal senses that is out there outside the mind. Because like you said, brother, I can smell something in my mind and it's tangible to me in my mind, but I'm not. But if I'm smelling it corporeally, which exists outside of my mind, then it's happening in another form. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
the
I got
sense, so it works both ways.
Well, if I was going to add something to that, electromagnetism in light is a conductor that carries information. You can impose
Yeah,
consciousness
yeah,
on light, and then when the light gets there, you can then decode the conscious. Same way with sound. The same light that can carry a
you.
positive thing can carry a negative thing. So if you're
yeah,
saying
yeah,
God is light,
yeah,
light
Fire,
yeah,
is once
Bam.
again a envelope that carries consciousness.
yes,
Consciousness
yes,
is different than light. You have to understand that. In consciousness is beyond electromagnetism. We use electromagnetism to
yeah,
as
yeah,
a springboard to start it up, but
yep,
is so much
yep.
further
It's
beyond that.
further
That's
beyond
what
it. Yes,
spirit is.
yes,
Because
And let me
once
say
again,
this.
yes,
Let me
you can
yes,
impose
yes.
data
Yep,
on light. You can't, and the data is the information. So if the two come together, you may think that the light is the data. No, the data was imposed on the light. So that's why I take a different position of saying that God is, when they're saying God is light, for me, when they're saying that, they're saying God is the truth.
No,
And you can
creator's
put
conscious.
truth in that light, and you can also put false information in the light. The same light that carries false information can carry true information.
Right.
Daryl, let's make it tangible. Do you know what you're talking about? We call ADAS, and we use fiber optic cables to transmit data at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Who was this? Who was this?
But
This Abdul. What's your name,
That's
brother?
Abdul. That's
Yeah,
Abdul.
bro. Hey, man, we need to
That's
get together
you
and
went
build sometime, man.
you
Yes,
went so
sir.
back
Yes,
with that
sir.
A-Day.
Hey, let me.
You went so
Hey, can I finally get in real quick? Can I
you
finally
went
get
so
in real
back with
quick?
that
Because
A-Day,
I
Abdul.
just want to say
I love
this.
it because that's what I used. It blew my mind in the early 2000s when we were allowed to transmit data with no latency to the speakers all the way around the room, 100 feet, 1,000 feet away through fiber optic cable with no latency. That was
Yes.
mind blowing, and that changed up the whole music and video industry that we're seeing
Yeah.
today.
I remember. I was caught in that transition going from real to wheels to A-Day.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Yeah, as a
I'm in
musician,
y'all age.
I
I'm in
I
that
just
age.
mentioned
I'm
that
in that
shit
age
a
group too.
couple weeks ago. I
It's the
talked to
same
the
way with the
DO.
power company. The power company right now imposes data on electrical current, and when that electrical current gets that, then they what's the word? Where they extract the data then out of the electromagnetism. But if you didn't know any better, you would start thinking the electromagnetism was the data. It's two different entities.
But it
I
is.
get that.
I
I
mean,
get
it
that.
is.
But
It
Right.
is data. And what you're describing, Daryl, is men with man-made devices encoding information using light. But
Yes.
light naturally carries information without
That's
the
what I'm saying. But there's a
involvement of
difference.
man.
What
right,
I'm saying, there's a
and
difference
so
in the carrier
listen,
and
man.
it's a difference between the envelope and what's inside of the envelope. Light is the envelope that carries consciousness. Consciousness is beyond electromagnetism. Electromagnet is
But
once again is the
hold on, it's not.
technology
It's
of
not
Yeah, it
God.
because
is.
watch
Consciousness
this.
is beyond electromagnetism.
Let me say this.
It
Let me
is.
say this, bro. I just want to add because this is very important to know. What you see as reality today is based upon the neurons in your brain firing off light signals. Okay, the light signals
It's
that's fired
electricity,
off.
brother. Those are
Exactly.
called
So what?
synapses. They're electricity.
Listen, it's still a part of
And every
It is
elect
still light. Hold on.
every
Forgive
electric
me, brother.
current has a
It is
corresponding
light too,
magnetic
brother.
field, so
Man,
it's
look, please don't cut me
electromagnetic.
off.
It
Don't
is
cut me
light
off,
too, brother.
y'all.
Forgive me.
Please.
It is light also.
That's what I'm saying. I want
What you
people
gotta
to
understand
fully
is,
understand what I'm coming from, where I'm coming from with this. What you see as reality today is a result of neurons firing off light signals in your brain. Trust me, if you had a stroke right now, multiple strokes, some of those lights be cut out. You might not even know your fucking name anymore. You get what I'm saying? So your version of reality of what you see today is a result of light signals being fired off in the neurons in your brain.
okay, and then what you gotta understand is, and what Durrell McDay is making the point of is that the consciousness is the medium for us to receive that information. Any information that we receive from the outside world, from the external world, consciousness is the medium for that transmission and that reception.
Well, would
Yes.
you have that understanding of consciousness without light?
That's a
So
good question.
we're saying
Wait,
light
wait,
is
hold
the
on.
conductor that carries the consciousness. The same, here's the thing. The same light
Consciousness
that
carries.
let me say this. Let me say that the same light that tells you to kill an innocent baby is the same light that tell you to go revive that baby. Once again, the light itself is just the conductor. The consciousness inside of it is something different. So you can have dark consciousness or light consciousness. And so once again, you will confuse the two of thinking because it was in the envelope, you'll start thinking then that the data and the carrier are the same thing because you don't know how to extract. When you see one, you see the other. They're both
Hey,
intertwined.
Durrell, you kind of contradicted yourself, and I just want to make sure you stay
No,
consistent.
no.
Listen.
Well, hold on. That was
Durrell,
I'm a non-linear thinker, so I kind of heard a connection in what he just said because all of matter all of physical matter that exists is literally the product of electromagnetism, all of it. Now,
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
this matter becomes more complex, it it evolves into different, different forms of air quote consciousness.
Right,
Because
right, right, right,
because
But
right,
what
right,
is
because
this
wait,
foundation?
this is what I'm saying.
right,
Because most of us would not think that a tree or any type of plant is conscious. But if you plant a
right,
motherfucking tree in the shade, that motherfucker gonna lean into the sunlight. You know what I mean?
right, right,
Mhm.
Right,
right, right,
right,
So the consciousness that we're talking about, that we're understanding, has a lot to do with our biology, because
right,
Right.
right,
right.
because all of these hormones that we produce create different synapsi in the mind.
Mhm.
And because anger is a chemical reaction, love is a chemical
right,
It
reaction.
right,
is.
right,
It
These are
right,
is. It is.
right,
so so
right,
since
right,
so since none of us are made up exactly the same way, even though our DNA blueprint made us all have 10 toes, 10 fingers, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and all that old type of shit.
right, right,
But at the molecular level, we're different, and
right,
And that
right,
that that was my
everybody
whole point.
responds to these. So
right.
but as far as now is to go into consciousness, consciousness would be more, what we would call sentient. Like most people wouldn't think a
It
plant
is
is
sentient.
right, but people wouldn't think of a plant as being sentient. But as the example I just gave, if you plant a tree in the shade, that motherfucker it's gonna grow and lean. Like, you know what? I need to lean over here to get sunlight, because if I don't get this sunlight, I'm not gonna get photosynthesis, and I'm
Right,
gonna
right,
die, and
right.
I'm gonna die.
Exactly.
And
So
this is further proof
so
that this is
so that would, to me, that would insinuate that the plant is sentient, to the fact that it understands that if it doesn't get this food, it's gonna die.
right. And if it
Right.
understands, it has intellect. Here we go
Right.
again, back to intellectual and being intellectual. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
This is
that's what
why
I'm
this is
saying.
listen, listen,
The
listen,
sun
listen real
itself
quick.
has
And
consciousness.
Hold on,
I
listen
want to
real
throw
quick.
this in here. Light itself is conscious. It's conscious, and that's been
Thank you.
demonstrated.
Thank you. Thank
That's
Right.
you.
been
That's
Now,
all I was trying to
demonstrated
get out.
correct.
through
Consciousness,
experimentation, with
consciousness.
the observer effect. You
Right. Now,
know,
consciousness is something that what we all have to understand is there's a common theme here. Now, some might agree, some might not, but consciousness, it pervades the universe. It pervades all of creation. Even things that you might not see as conscious, like a rock. There is on a fundamental level. And when I say on a fundamental level, I mean down to the electron or to the quark. There is a substance or consciousness to some degree having an effect for it to be what it is. You see what I'm saying?
man, you sound like my brother Anu. You sound
Man,
like Pharrell Burns with
bro,
that
there's
one.
intelligence.
Yeah,
Man,
you do
there's
sound like
intelligence.
a new.
Yeah, man, there's intelligence working on this right now, man. Consciousness that pervades the universe, and the reason why we consciousness is because that consciousness that pervades the entire universe is where we get our supply of consciousness from. See
Right.
there?
And,
See
and, and
there?
you could only imagine how many people have called Anu crazy because he made the same statement that rocks are alive and
Hmm.
conscious.
See there?
And it's
See?
like
Well, I
people
would
people judge consciousness
Listen, rocks
consciousness
are alive and they vibrate.
by
Rock,
human
rock,
standards when that's not, I mean, that's not necessarily fair to the other forms of life. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
'Cause
yeah. Now, I
let,
wouldn't necessarily
let
say
me say
that
let me
they are
say this,
alive. I
brother.
was just saying that they have consciousness on a fun on a. I wouldn't necessarily say that rocks and things are alive. I was just saying that it has consciousness on a fundamental level. And what I mean by that is that there is a degree of consciousness taking place in the electrons and in the quarks that make up the rock. Now, I wouldn't say the rock is necessarily alive, but there is consciousness that pervades it to keep it intact. Now, if you want to get deeper, this was just a recent discovery that there are rocks at the bottom of the ocean that do take the ocean water and produce oxygen. You can Google that right now and see that.
Well, let me
So
let
there's
me add
intelligence.
this.
There's
Let me add
intelligence
this
taking
though,
place on many levels.
because because I trust me, man. I understand where I knew was coming from, and I understand where you coming from. A lot of people don't get this.
Say it again. Oh, hold up.
Rock,
Say that again, bro.
and the truth is that they vibrate on a level that we're not used. It's slower than what we're used
Fundamental.
to.
That's what I was
So
saying.
therefore,
Fundamental.
rocks can take their time.
Right.
For example, all mountains are growing, whether people realize that or not. It just grows at a slower rate than what we're used to. So again, rocks can take their time. So when we look at hold on, my bad, y'all. I don't know how
Yeah,
much of
because
that y'all
we
heard
judge life,
because
we judge life, consciousness, and all and the like based off of our experience. When that might be, that might not be how other organisms or other organic materials experience life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, so
Right,
we have
right.
to
Operated at
hold
a
it up to
different
a
And to
level,
human
that point,
standard.
different rate.
to that point you just made, to that point, what you're pretty much saying is that not every form of life has the same, what is the word I'm
it
looking
don't have the
for?
same frequency.
Not the same frequency. It's not as complex as, like, say for instance, like an
There you
ant.
go.
An ant is conscious, right? But it doesn't have the consciousness that an ant have is not as complex as the consciousness that a human being would have. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Absolutely.
So that goes back to the brother's point when he said, dogs act a certain way, but then humans act a certain way. Well, that's because a dog has a less complex amount of a less complex um consciousness than we do. You see what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
And so, real quick, I got to get off the call, but I just want to say one more thing, man, on the topic of consciousness. What we need to understand is this, man. Everybody is independent and individual, and has their own unique set of consciousness. And by me saying that is that we don't have direct access to anybody else's consciousness but our own. Like
Facts.
I don't have direct access to Daryl McDay's consciousness. I don't have direct access to his experiences. I don't have direct access to Abdul's consciousness. And so that's what makes us all different, and we all have those different experiences. But I can't take my consciousness and prove to you that I am conscious. I only know that objectively to myself, but you know that subjectively to yourself. Looking from the outside. So I mean, hey, this was a wonderful bill, brothers, man. I'll catch y'all on the flip side, man.
It is. Peace and
Yeah,
blessings,
well,
brother.
absolutely, bro.
Yeah,
Peace.
peace, peace.
That brother sound
Hey,
like he
this
could
this
be
this
a
this is actually
magnetic
this is actually a
messiah
good
in
bill, man.
disguise.
And a lot of people not understanding, like when it comes to a rock being alive, like anything, vibration, vibration means movement. Movement means animation. Animation means life.
Right. And some of those trees are, it was revealed to me, right? Like I said, revealed that some of these mountains that we have were the great biblical trees. So they once were alive.
Right.
But that's
Well,
just
not
me.
even
Everybody,
a
especially
big
science.
part of
Well, mountains are alive.
A common experiment we didn't all did in kindergarten and shit like that, and have always been taught, is that if you talk to your plants and shit like that, and you treat a plant a certain way, it's gonna grow according to the energy you give it. If
Yes.
you express affirmation and shit to a plant will
Ooh.
grow healthy as hell. If you yell and scream
Look,
and give negative energies to a plant, that motherfucker gonna wither away.
it's called cymatics, you guys. And we have experiments with cymatics and those negative radio frequencies. And the latest one I recall was one with ice, right? Dude says, water has a memory and whatnot, right? So he started saying things, positive things and negative things, right? And then hurrying up and putting that water in the flash freezer, right? And you should see, you look it up. You should see when he was spitting negative stuff, the design and the chaos that the ice crystals were forming. And then when he was saying positive things or playing positive music, you should see the type of designs, the hexagons, the patterns that's all through the universe, the hexagons and the
Yeah.
honeycombs. That's what the ice was forming. So there is power in your words, vibration and all that stuff. Just like I'll be trying to explain
It
to people,
is. It is.
we
You're
see
right.
the light that we see is a wave. Just like the sounds that you hear is a wave, right?
Well, let me say
And
this.
then
Let me say this
just
to
just let
you.
me just let me land it, brother, real quick, please. Just let me
Yes,
land it.
sir. Yes, sir.
And
I'm
and
sorry.
and we're being polluted. We are polluted in the cities with pollution, light, and sound. And I don't know, understand what I'm talking about. The waves coming off of the power lines. You got to understand they're giving off waves and they're giving off a magnetic signal and frequency, along with the 5G, 4G, 3G towers, along with the Bluetooth devices, along with the Wi-Fi routers and the transmitters and receivers in the phones that we keep in our pockets, brother. We're being polluted, right? And then I just seen a study that they said that they know how to make us act a certain way. I can't remember the exact words, but through these frequencies from these towers and all of these frequencies and stuff, it's causing us to act a certain way, right? And then
Yeah,
you can
that's
do the
been proven.
experiment. I tell people all because I love plants, I love gardening. Go get two plants. Take a control plant, put it on the opposite side of the house in the sun, right? And then take the other plant, put it by the Wi-Fi router, but put it in the sun. Be sure to keep them on schedule, feed them the same, and water them the same. And I guarantee you, the plant that's by the sunlight, away from the router, is going to be growing fuller, stronger, and more vigor in it. Guaranteed. And I always tell people to do these, but don't nobody do it. But I've done it and I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So if it's affecting the plants, right? If these waves are affecting the plants, what are they doing to you?
Hmm.
They're doing to you
Mm-mm,
the same thing
mm-mm,
it's doing to the
mm-mm,
plant. I mean,
mm-mm.
when you go to neurology, you know what I'm saying? Once you study that, these things are proven that certain frequencies trigger certain emotions and actions from humans. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and you guys, I don't know. We're under a 444 frequency right now for the music and
I was
videos and
just getting.
everything,
I
right?
was just about
Well,
to say
it
that,
used to
Abdul.
be 432 or 431. It was 431 or 432, right? And that frequency,
Yeah,
science has
432.
discovered, is a healing frequency, you guys.
Yeah,
It's a
five.
healing frequency. And the 444, you can only guess what frequency that is. But it has
Yeah,
to do with
that four
hertz,
that
ohms.
432 was called universal tuning. It was in tune with the harmony of the universe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See,
The
and I
harmonic.
think
Hey,
that's the
hey,
No,
can
thing
I
we
can I
have.
add,
it
can
was
I
the
say something,
harmonic.
man?
Hang on. It was the harmonic resonance that the Earth has. The harmonic resonance that the Earth has comes from the lightning bolts in the ionosphere. The Earth is vibrating at one frequency, and the ionosphere is what 33 octaves higher, and we're supposed to be vibrating roughly right in between there. But by us, like everything they just said, all the things that they put on us, all of the vibrations they give us, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything, the electrical lines, all of that is actually has us stifled in our development.
Well, can I say this, y'all? Can I say this real quick?
Wait, hold on. The 444 is not the frequency, whereas the
Damn, man.
444 is the frequency you tune into in order to get to the 528. The 440 is what we're on right now. That's the
Hey,
one that's
can I
different.
say
The
this
You're right, Q. I'm
444.
sorry. I'm wrong.
because I want
Yeah, I
people to
think you might
understand this.
you right,
Yeah,
Neo.
I
I think you're
apologize,
right.
Neo.
I think it is
It is. It
440.
is 440.
520. Me and
Hey,
Neo were just talking about this. The 528 is the God
can I
frequency.
can I speak on something real quick because we have to understand this when we're dealing with atoms, right? You're looking at uh, non-ionizing, non-ionizing versus ionizing, right? When you're dealing with frequencies or you know you get what I'm saying. So to say for us to sit here and say that like even go even getting advantageous to say that 5G or anything like that has a direct influence on human behavior is a fallacy. And I'm gonna explain
That's
that. I'm gonna
not
explain
true.
why.
That's
I'm gonna
not
Right.
explain
Right.
true
why.
They
at
got
all.
science.
Because you
Go
have to
ahead, brother. Let
understand
me
when
go after you.
ionizing,
You didn't even hear about it yet. You trying to shoot it down without hearing it. We
brother,
have
stop it.
we
I just
have
speak.
we
I
have
can't I can't
experiments.
just speak. I
We have
did hear my brother
experiments
out, and
done.
I just want to
We
speak
have
on it.
experiments done that show the effects of the 444, the 528, and the 432 on salt, on water, on sand, on everything.
Ice.
It affects
Yep.
everything
Again,
in the
brother.
universe.
Again,
Hey,
I
hold
hope you
on.
can
It
keep up
affects
with where I'm going with
everything
this.
in the universe, and you're trying to act like you're not in the universe, and it can't affect you.
brother,
You know, think
stop
about
it.
these
Stop
frequencies.
it. That's a straw man
You just might
argument.
want to look
Bro,
into it
that's a straw.
before. You just might want to look into it and do some research before you talk some bullshit, bro. I've been researching this
Brother,
longer than
stop
anybody
it.
back here,
Stop it. I've
and you
already
never
done the
looked into it.
research,
You
man.
never looked
Listen,
into it
I'm
at
Hey,
gonna give
brother,
you
all.
a full
You
dealing
synopsis
never
with
right
looked
now of what I'm
into it
talking
at
about.
all, brother.
You
I
can
do
tell me
my
y'all
you
want
music
dealing
in
with
different.
reproductive.
I do my
let me
because you
know when y'all
talking
ready for
bullshit right now.
let me
We
know
not
when
ready
y'all
to hear you. We not
let
ready to
me
hear
know
no
when y'all
fuck
ready
shit
for
from no
Lord
nigga who don't know
Magneto to
shit,
speak.
trying to talk some shit about what he don't know.
Okay,
Now go watch
so
a
I didn't
movie,
say he
go
didn't
read a
know.
book, and then come back and talk about it. Other than
well,
that, shut the fuck up, bro.
Man,
the most
listen,
obvious.
don't
Let the
Hang on,
real
disrespect me,
teacher
man.
teach,
You
I'm
shut
not.
the
nigga.
fuck up.
I can't yell.
How
Let the
about you
real
come over
teacher
here and make
teach.
me
God, I
shut the
can't
fuck
yell.
up,
I'm not
my nigga?
trying to yell.
All
Okay,
right, well,
I'm
shut
tired
the
of y'all
fuck up.
niggas talking to me like shit,
I'm
nigga.
not.
How
I'm
about you
not
come
trying
over
to
here
yell.
and make me shut the fuck up?
Look,
I'm
y'all
tired of
getting
niggas
off.
acting
Y'all
like they
Now
getting
know
on.
choke your
something
Y'all
they
getting
don't
on
motherfucking
fucking
some.
ass
know.
out. How
Y'all
about
getting
that?
on. Y'all getting off. Come on, y'all messing up the bill. Y'all messing up the
He
bill.
is messing up the bill, getting
So
personal,
this is what I
man.
was getting.
I
This is
was
what I'm
just
gonna.
trying to make a
This is what
valid
I'm getting ready
point.
to say.
You
Well,
ain't
No,
made no
I
valid
can't
point
even
yet,
be
let
heard,
me
nigga.
say
bro.
this. No, I
I
wanna.
You
can't
ain't
be.
I wanna
made
ask.
nothing
Listen,
yet.
I
I wanna
can't be
ask.
heard.
I wanna get back on
These
because I
niggas,
wanna
these
ask you. I
niggas,
wanna
these
ask
niggas
you
oh,
a
is
come
running
on,
question.
to
brothers.
I wanna ask you a
testosterone,
question. Hey,
and
Rue. Hey, Rue. I wanna ask you a
slow
You
question.
that
ain't
down
made
some more.
nothing yet, bro.
No, I
Bro,
wanna ask you
come over here and
questions
make me shut
directly
the
tied
fuck
to
up.
it.
Shit gonna get
No, no.
real
See,
slow for
y'all
you.
on some. Y'all
Shit gonna get
y'all
real
Mr.
slow
Kareem,
for
and
got
you.
it's
bad
still
vibes.
Come
being
make me
Y'all
shut
got
recorded.
the
bad.
fuck up.
Y'all got negative frequencies going on right now. This is what we're talking about.
Exactly. I didn't
But
intend.
hey,
I didn't
Rue, this
intend
is the
for that.
question I want to ask you.
I'm just trying to.
This
I'm
is the
just trying
question
to
I want to
give
ask you real quick. I want to ask you this question real quick.
dog,
Have you
man.
ever
I was just trying
have
to
you
see.
have you
I
ever
that's all
heard
I did. I didn't even get my
exclusively?
whole sentence out,
Okay, go
bro.
ahead. Go ahead.
I met with questions. This nigga disrespected me. I'm just gonna say this one more time because I'm tired of niggas disrespecting me. You come make me shut the fuck up, and shit gonna get real slow
That's
for you.
what you stopped him to say.
Oh man, stop, man, stop. Now I'm gonna
That's what you
continue my
stopped him
point.
to say.
I'm gonna
You had nothing
continue
to
my
say.
point.
Absolutely nothing
I'm
to say.
gonna continue my point because
And
it's
I'm gonna
very
continue
relevant to
mine
this
that your
conversation.
point is wrong. Your point is dumbass,
I was
and
trying to
you
bring
ain't.
us back
He
to the
It's,
don't know
bill.
what
it's
the
I was
fuck I'm
ignorance
really,
about
at
to
its
I
say.
was
finest.
You don't
really
even
trying to
know
It's
what
bring
the
us
fuck
back
ignorance
I'm
at
about
its
to
to the
say.
bill.
But you
finest.
ain't let me speak, man.
I'm gonna
Shut the
just go
fuck
on
up
mute.
talking
It's
to me, bro.
ignorance at its
For
finest.
real, man. And how
And
about
you're
that?
trying to shoot
You take
down
that
something you
challenge. You
don't know
come over
nothing
here and
about.
make me shut the fuck
All
up,
right. So,
Neo. How
like I
about
said,
that?
since
Make
you
me
ain't got
shut the
shit else
fuck
to
up
say
every
than
day.
just the
Horrible
432,
day.
there's a
I'm not that
963.
kid,
There's
bro.
many different
I'm not
frequencies
that kid.
that affect nature more than or in a more positive way. When you put a speaker with, and I'm about to do this experiment
I'm
very
about
soon,
to show
and I'm
you
gonna
something
record it, and
different.
I'm gonna be the first, and
I'm
I'm gonna
about to put
show
my
you
money
the
where my mouth
geometric
is. I'll
patterns.
match you
I'm
on
gonna
that. How
show
about
you the
that?
geometric patterns being formed right before your eyes in sand and water.
I'm just
And if it's
saying,
gonna
don't
do
act
that
like
in
you
that, it's
hoeing no nigga
affecting
out here,
all of
man.
nature. Those frequencies affect
Tired of that shit,
everything.
bro.
And there are special frequencies, and the world knew about it. Our ancient ancestors knew about it. And they did shit. Know what else it looked like? If Daryl's still on here, he gonna like it. It looked like the crop circles. That's what the forms, the patterns of this shit
Yep.
form look like. It looked like the crop circles. So that's probably the alien technology that's causing the anti-gravity. That's how they beating what we call gravity right now, probably with the frequencies, with studying this frequency of sound. Sound is way more important than people think. Music is the most powerful instrument in the world, other than God. And it affects everything. Whether you want to be affected, whether you're aware of being affected or not, it's affecting you at all times. That's why they pumping this negative vibration through the music and television to fuck us all up. And when we want to realign our chakras, use these sound frequencies to
I
do it.
don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with what you just said.
You just said it don't affect people. That's what the fuck you
No,
just said,
what I'm
nigga.
telling you is what he was mentioning, like the
He was
5G
talking about
towers,
5G
all
and all
that
that
shit.
type of shit.
Hold
We
on. Hold
have
on.
to look at the difference
If I
between
can,
ionizing. Brother, come on, don't conflate what the
my
fuck I
bad,
just
brother. No,
said.
it was me because I said it. You got to hear the voices. Like you're dealing with four
Okay, I'm
people
just
on here
saying
that do.
it's
Real
too
quick,
many
brother. I just
voices.
want to say this.
All I'm
Me, Tim, Ruben, and Neo, we do music. We've been doing it over 30, 40 years.
I do music too. I've been doing it over 30 years.
Right.
I compose my own music, bro. I can write music.
Well, you need to do it 30 more years
But
to
here,
catch up
I'm gonna
with
put
where
it back
we
there
at,
for
because you
you
don't
to see the
understand.
cymatics.
I'm talking about building a scale of music. like composed music. I know what you're talking about. I went to school, high school, all that shit. I was doing this. My parents brought me into this shit. Real shit.
Well, when it comes to what we're talking about right now, I think
Ain't no reason for this brother to get on here and disrespect me. Talking about shut the fuck up. I want one of these niggas to make me shut the fuck up.
But that's
It's
just
gonna be a very
do
slow
this,
day
it's
for
just
them.
keeping it going. Who is this?
Yeah, I'm like,
Haru?
yeah, we trying to get back to
No,
the
I'm
bill.
just saying, man. He can say what the fuck he want to say, and I can't respond.
Yeah, that's brother Haru.
Because at the end of the day, I'm tired of these niggas coming at me trying to flash their ass at me. Eventually, I'm gonna bite. Bring your ass up here to Michigan and make me shut the fuck up. How about that? It's gonna be a very slow day for you. I'm not the nigga you think I am. So Neil, cut all that shit out, man. Bro, me and you done had many one-on-one conversations. We ain't like that. So don't act like that in front of these people. Fuck out of here with that. What I was talking about was it's true. You cannot sit up here and say that 5G is influencing fucking people's behavior. It's not. You have to understand the difference between ionizing and non-iodized radiation. It's a difference between the two.
Well, this is the thing. Would you consider music as a form of radiation? That
absolutely, because you're listen. You're using frequencies. You're using frequencies to create your music. Every tone that I use, whether it's A flat or whatever, these are frequencies that we're using. It's the same thing as the universe. The universe is playing out a harmonica. That's what we're living harmonicas.
Okay, well,
we're the vibrations of the universe.
As the producer that's here in the group that has a background in scoring, my schooling was 100% revolving around creating an emotion, stimulating emotion. What is this scene? What do you want this scene to make you feel? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So absolutely, frequency has an effect on the human body and the consciousness and human emotions. Now, 5G, believe it or not, has a fucking tone. Every frequency has a fucking tone. Now, whether or not it's high enough for your human ear to hear it, or if it's too deep for you to fucking hear it, that doesn't matter. The vibration of the frequency is still there. We are constantly being bombarded by frequencies all day. Like right now, they got radio waves flying through the air right now, playing Michael Jackson and fucking Taylor Swift. Like right now, Taylor Swift is passing through your body now to a radio station.
Brother.
Since you're not a receiver of that frequency, you're not gonna output that frequency, but it is still passing through you.
Every time somebody joined in, it cut my because I get so on speaker.
Cause I'm about to tell you, bro.
It's
like
I asked to go a couple minutes ago, and I just been overlooked. So
I never forget the
You're looking
feeling.
at non-ionizing radiation.
I don't even want to argue over
and also
I never forget the feeling I got from hearing a grand pipe organ tuned at 432 hertz.
The vibration
I never forget that sound.
Yes, sir.
It felt like my soul. It felt like my soul was about to jump out my body.
Right. And Haru, brother. Just go do a little bit of studying. 5G is killing first. Please, just let me get my words out, brother.
This is why I'm speaking.
I think I was probably 16 or 17 when I took the trip to the Air Force Academy up on Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs. And they have a church on campus with the largest pipe organ I have ever seen anywhere.
It's
and it's
beautiful.
tuned at 432 hertz.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Bruh, that sound resonates through your whole entire body.
It does. But here's my point. Brother. Here's my point. I'm trust me. I'm gonna put this down right now. There are currently no credible scientific evidence that suggests like 5G, 4G technology has any impact on
What's
human
going on,
behavior,
man?
right?
There most
So
What
definitely
up?
is,
wait a minute.
brother. I was trying to talk.
Huh?
I don't
Listen,
keep on.
hold
I don't
on.
want to have to yell over
Listen,
other
Okay.
brothers
I
just to
never
get
been
the
All right. How
word.
you doing today?
I've
I've
been
been
cut
trying to
off
Pretty
get
the whole
in
good.
for
time I've been
5
on this
minutes
call.
now.
So
I've
what
been
point is
saying
it for
I'm
me to be
next
on this
after the
call?
next person, and people keep on just
234.
going like they don't have, decorum or
I'm
common
just
sense.
saying, what point is it for me to be on this call if I'm cut off? You guys cut
I
me
wasn't
off,
cutting
and you
you,
get mad when I cut y'all off. I'm just
but
trying to make a point
I've been
right
trying to
quick.
respond to what you. I'm not trying to argue with you. I've been trying to respond to you saying that there ain't no evidence for it. You can go look. It's a plethora.
Well, watch
Five
this.
G's killing
5G
people. You won't even let me hit. You won't even let me
or
finish.
fifth generation, what you call mobile networking technology. Listen, it operates using radio frequency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all know this. Electromagnetic fields, which are not a type of non-ionizing radiation. Non-ionizing radiation does not it, it doesn't have enough energy to ionize atoms or molecules. Meaning it can't directly damage DNA or cells in a way that ionizing radiation could, such as X-rays or gamma rays. This is why they put the special gowns of carbon on their body when they take an X-ray. That shit is
70. All
damaging,
right.
That's
not your
lead.
bones.
That's lead.
So
They're hitting you with a lead apron.
3270.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Man,
67. All right. All right.
it
I
seems like
estimated pretty
I
good.
hear a lot of.
That's all
It
I'm
seems
saying.
like
I'm sorry,
scientists.
man. My
Look what I wrote. That was
phone
before I
cut off.
even came.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was
There you
2
go.
off.
It's real though. When you compare X-rays or gamma rays to and their effect on human bodies compared to cell phones, stop it.
They already
Stop it.
know it caused cancer back in the 80s when they had the Motorola brick phones. The science industry came out with that. They said keep it away from your testicles, and they said you ain't supposed to have it. But you're coming here today with some new evidence telling us that the scientists from then, the 80s and stuff, was
What?
wrong about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
50.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Oh, you won't
It's a
change it
lot of
out.
scientism jumping off back here, man. And
Yeah,
you got to
because
look up what that means.
you don't
Okay.
All right.
understand
All right.
the difference between ionizing and non-ionizing radiation.
It's not just that, because what you're saying,
It
Haru,
is
is
just
He
that.
won't
100%.
even let me finish though. This is the thing. He won't let me finish.
Go ahead,
Look,
bro.
he's being
I'm
hit
done.
with
You
these.
didn't let me finish, but go ahead.
You've been finished. You've been going for 15 minutes, brother.
I wasn't going for no 15 minutes. Nigga, I spoke for 2 minutes. Two, if that.
I
Cut me
don't
the
want to
fuck
debate
off.
on what he just did.
Finish, brother. Finish. Can we get a timer or something? Because that
That's
would make
all
it
I'm
easy.
pointing out
So
right
a
now.
brother can
You
close
got
the
to be
deal
on
out in 2 minutes, and then
5
we
and
can
I
finish
want to
the
I want
fucking
to go
people.
whoever.
stop it.
I let
It's not.
whoever after whoever. Go ahead.
It's not. Because you have to understand the difference between ionizing radiation and non-ionizing
You
radiation.
act like we don't know the difference.
That's one thing about us Naga brothers. We study science. So you're not gonna run that shit on us, bruh. You could appeal to the pseudo community. That's fine, but you're not gonna run that shit on me today.
Okay, did you get it out, or do we got to wait
Yeah.
another 5 minutes
Nah,
for you
go
to
ahead,
finish?
go ahead,
It's
go ahead, bro.
Thursday for
Like I was
me.
saying, everything that brother just said, you could go do an easy Google check, or you could ask AI and they'll tell you.
And what I said is
Plants,
true.
if man, see again, you see how brother, you know what, Heru? Go ahead, brother. You
That
know
would have been.
everything.
I
No,
think
I
that
You
would
don't
have
know
been
can't
everything, but
build.
I know what I know.
You
I know
cannot
what I know.
build. You can't build with a brother who thinks he's the master builder. Build, brother. Build. Pseudo build. In
okay,
science,
but that's what
build, brother.
I was
That's the
getting ready
thing.
to
That's the
say.
thing about it, brother. You
Ridiculous,
don't
man.
even know me because I am a master builder,
What I was getting ready to
and I
say
have
though,
over
because
30
I want to
years
keep the
in
bill
these
going.
fields of
I
study,
don't want
bruh.
this negative
So he don't
Stop
even
energy
want
to
you
playing
to
with
continue
me.
heat.
to
Oh my
resonate.
God.
I don't want this negative energy to continue to resonate. So this, I want everybody to take a rule side. You know, y'all can call me corny or
Nah,
whatever.
don't take my side. Just look it up.
No,
I'll
I
be
want
right back.
everybody to take a whoop side. Whoop side. Okay. Now he's right. Ionizer
particle exchange do have a larger effect. And the only reason why they aren't as harmful as they used to be is because we have learned to insulate against them. Back in the days, when they fucking hung up electrical wires, they just had the wrong fucking wire up there. The bird will land on that shit, be like, this is out. Bird will get
Right.
fucked up. Now they insulate those wires. Insulating those wires cuts back dramatically on the effects and the radiation that those wires emit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like he brought up X-rays and all of that shit. We know that that shit fucking up. They put a big ass lead vest in your fucking chest when they putting fucking a minute amount of that shit in your mouth. Like
Right.
we understand that shit. Any type of radiation will be bad if it's in an amount to where it's drowning your cells in it.
Right.
We cannot say that just because we've insulated against it that it's still not having an effect. It's still
Yeah.
having an effect. It's just not as forceful as an effect.
Right, right. And Tim, I was going to do this because we know about the FCC and how they allow us to be poisoned. 15% ain't going to kill you, right? But when you got 50 sources shooting out 15% of radiation, you do the math. You got to start adding. And that's what he's not saying. And then he needs to talk to the people who live by those monopines in the cell towers whose brand new baby children have developed brain tumors. You know, he needs to talk to those people, right? Because that's the crazy part about it. He just was thinking everything he was saying was right, period, point blank. And I asked him, he wouldn't even do it. I told him to take two plants, right? Put one by the Wi-Fi router, the 5G Wi-Fi router, whatever you want to call it, and then stick the other
All right.
one by somewhere in the sun and do the test. And I
Four,
guarantee the
three,
one in the
five,
sun is
seven.
going to be stronger than that one by the Wi-Fi router, right? And then if he knew anything, he would look at the trees surrounding the monopines and those towers. Look at the areas surrounding those towers. They're desolate. It's like dirt, like there. The trees are dying, right? Why are the trees dying if the 5G and the 6G and all these invisible waves that we're being hit with, not just hit, bombarded with, aren't affecting us? That's all I was trying to get out to the man, but he wanted to call it pseudo and do this. The brother was dealing with a whole bunch of scientism. That brother has the
The whole
utmost
thing
respect
about it
for the
is
scientific method and the theory, and is totally blocking out the father and what he did.
the whole thing about it is that because we're receiving that's what I was just saying earlier. It's being shielded and we're receiving it in minute doses. You know, for example, if anybody has ever eaten a fucking canned good, like canned corn, canned beef, you've eaten some carcinogenic shit.
Yeah,
It's
rat
it's
shit.
not it's not giving you cancer that day that you eat the shit, but keep eating that shit until when you're 70 and wonder why you got cancer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's it's the same with these fucking like you said, the blue. I got a Bluetooth in my ear right now. They have learned to do that shit, and right now I'm putting minute doses of that frequency through my fucking head right now. I am.
Right.
I can't now. I can't now just because I'm not dying from it. I'm not getting a bloody nose, and I'm not being fucked. You know, I'm not having an overt physical effect from it. Does not mean it's having zero effect.
Right. And again, with all these different devices and different towers, like you're getting 15% of the poison, whatever you want to call it, the bad effect from every tower that you see. Every tower is putting out the same amount. So if you're surrounded by three towers, you're being hit with 45% of the radiation. I don't know why he don't see that. Okay? Like this is crazy. Like it's crazy. We know that these invisible waves are causing adverse effects to people. Birth defects, it's killing lives, it's causing birds to go crazy and just fly into the ground. It's causing deer to go off of their natural migration and jump off cliffs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's killing up the bees. It's killing the bees. 5G is fucking up the natural whatever the bees run off of, and it's
Electro
causing them to not
bees
be
and
able to make it
birds,
home and colony collapse.
bees and birds, they operate on electromagnetism.
Right. Well, so do we. Every
Yeah.
movement that we move is electricity to put into the muscle to move the muscle, right? It started in the middle of your head and then it went outwards, right? So whatever your body thought to do, your body followed. Whatever your mind thought to do, your body followed. Just like the words that I'm speaking right now on the fly, my brain already pre-thought of that so I could spit it out. Okay? So we need to understand. I'm a go on mute, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I moved so far up into the mountains to where we're not surrounded by 5G towers and all these other little things that be in the city. When I go to the city, I see on top of every fucking building downtown satellite dishes and towers and stuff like that, transmitting and receiving signals. And then we wonder why the people in those areas are always acting crazy because you're constantly being bombarded by these waves.
Oh man, how everybody doing today though, man? Let's reset, man. It's a lot of high energy going on right now. How's everybody's day going?
All right, blessed.
I'm balanced.
Can y'all
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
hear you now.
We hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying, I don't expect nobody to take this information and just run with it just because, three niggas on the phone said it. You're supposed to go look it up before shooting it down, and that's all I'm saying.
Right.
There's too many people doing experiments from it. The first one probably was some, scientists or something like that, but then it was regular people that started doing it. I got you. Then it was regular people that started doing it. So that means you can buy a kit and do it your damn self. You ain't gotta, call it pseudo till you try it. That ain't scientific. That's the same person that was talking all this scientific talk. But yet and still he just that's pseudo before he even test it out. About $150, you probably could test it out, maybe 200.
And I've been trained most of my life on which frequencies invoke which emotions in people. How to
What I
make
would
a
like,
fucking how to make this scene convey some scary, spooky shit. How to make this scene convey love you so much. How to make this scene convey a feeling of large epic adventure. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit I've been trained on. Like, so
How you doing?
I absolutely know without a shadow of a fucking doubt, there is not an inch of my body that does not believe that frequency does not have an influence on the fucking body.
And see, even what you're talking about, that's slightly different because it's slightly different due to what they taught in school was more or less the movement of the music, the melody, and stuff like that. They back then they wasn't really doing research or research. I didn't hear about it, the research in the actual frequency and hertz and stuff like that. They was more concerned with a minor key or a major key and just the way that music feels. But you could play all of that in the wrong frequency and it's counterproductive or it's not as powerful as it could be.
What I'm
With
saying is I'm
understanding the
standing next to this
frequencies and designing the right scales, like if you put it in 440, it's not, they suppressed this information. They changed it to 440 and suppressed the information because they didn't want it out. They didn't want people doing it in 432. That's the
what I'm
conspiracy
saying is I'm
theory.
standing next to this machine right here, right? They got this sign on it.
I don't hear not one fucking sound, but I definitely feel that I'm standing next to this motherfucking thing.
No,
It
no,
is
I
that,
get that.
you know what I'm saying?
I get that.
I can feel these frequencies. That's what I'm saying. I was
No,
just
I
using
get that, but I'm saying they're not teaching about the 432, the 528, the 963,
oh,
and
okay,
so on
yeah.
and so forth. They're not teaching that, and that's the difference between what he was talking about. He was speaking directly on the 528, which is the frequency of love. 963 is the frequency, the guard frequency or something, and 432 is I forget which one that one was. And there's more. It's about 9 of them. It's about 9 different frequencies. People even tried to make there's a piano app or a keyboard app that you can hook your MIDI keyboard up to it and insert what frequencies you want each note to be. So they made a whole, no, not oscillator, but it's like a piano tone generator or something. But it didn't sound very musical once they put all of those 9 frequencies or so together and tried to make an actual scale with it. It did not sound harmonious at all. So, it's like you can't have a scale with all of those frequencies in it. You got to tune one note to one of the frequencies, and the rest of the notes got to be in harmony with that frequency.
Yeah, build in there, put them in steps from each other, create a scale, whatever. Like so you, if you take C and you tune C at 538, then everything else has to be
right. It has to be off of that C. It can't,
right.
like what he was talking about earlier. Hey, root consciousness. He was talking about, he was just gassing, like he wasn't really doing this. He's like, I'm gonna make a scale with all of the frequencies in it. No, I've already looked into that. You can't do it. It's not gonna sound good. It might feel good to your body, like as far as healing effects, but it's not gonna sound good to your ears.
I think the reason it's important to understand the frequency because we understand that once we know the frequency of anything, just say a disease or something, you can then come up with the counter frequency to eliminate or alleviate yourself from that disease. It's like they
Right. I
shatter.
remember when you was talking about light, Daryl. I did notice you were talking about the frequencies, and some of the frequencies you mentioned were in the same frequency scale that the sound is in. So because it's a repeating pattern, even when you go to computer technology, the chip size, the 128 GB, then it go to 256 and all of that. Those same numbers resonate to the frequency. It all has to do with that. What is that? The Fibonacci sequence and all kind of other stuff. They've been knowing this stuff. We're not just figuring something out that they don't know. They know this stuff. They just don't want us to know it.
Oh yeah, that's really like in certain churches when they would play the organ, from what I understood, was designed to resonate with a particular organ in your body. And when they would hit that note, and all of a sudden you see some people say they caught the Holy Ghost because when you come into resonance with a frequency, you can start doing a dance or making what they call speaking in tongue, releasing a sound, and just by that particular vibration going through your body can actually create a healing in you. And you don't even know what's taking place. It's like shattering a kidney stone with a particular light frequency, or shattering a glass with a certain frequency. We had the science of it at one time of understanding once again how to create certain audible frequencies. Once again, we would call speaking in tongue, and when that tongue come out of you, then that tongue had the ability to make you resonate at a certain thing, and you may let out a dance, as I say, or you may let out a sound, and that in turn would go through your body and actually bring about a healing. But we've lost the science of that.
Yeah.
That's when you get certain animals like dogs, when they get sick, they go to a particular type of, I'll say, grass. And their nose picks up on that frequency. Their nose let them know whatever I got going on in my body, this is the counter to that. But when human beings lose their ability to hear, then they can't hear anymore. They can't hear what they need to do. They have to go to a doctor and then be at the mercy of the doctor telling them, I heard that this right here is what you need. and they do research to find out. They get results from practicing with A, B, and C, and they do get results. But there was a time when we didn't have to go have a medium, a middle person to tell us what to do.
The last 2 weeks or so, I've been researching this stuff. I've been researching it before that. Don't think I only put in 2 weeks of research into it. I've been researching it way before that, but I was on a mission to retune my instruments to that frequency for the second time. I did it once before, but I found out a little bit more information, so I wanted to retune them to that instrument. And I've spent about 2 weeks in this process getting everything right, putting my guitar in the shop so they can set it up the right way and everything else. So, yeah, I'm playing in 528 hertz right now, or really close to it, if it's not 100% exact.
I think one of the things we have to also do is look at the elements and find out which element is in tune to which frequency, because it's going to be something that they just don't tell. There's something we're going to have to discover, because once again, they do not want certain people ignited a certain way. So once again, there'll be certain information they'll tell you, and certain information you have to kind of just go and discover yourself if you're going to come to a certain level of truth about certain things.
Right, and I don't want to just take their word for it either. I don't care how many people got videos doing an experiment. I'm gonna go get my own frequency generator and produce these
Take a
frequencies
picture of your license plate.
and see which ones actually, affect the physical, reality of nature, like the sand, the water, and I'm gonna use different, substances like that to see which ones react to what frequency, and like I said, you can't tune your instruments to all of them at the same time, but you can tune this one song to this frequency. If it's a song about God, you can tune it to the God frequency. If it's a song about love, you can tune it to the frequency of love. And I'm sure it's the different chakras. I'm sure they align with your chakras.
Hey, y'all enjoyed the bill, but I got to go take care of a situation. I'll talk to you, kings and queens, at the appointed time.
All right, brother.
Peace and blessings, Daryl.
Hey.
I ain't mean to blow up on the brother, but he stepped into my territory with that conversation and trying to say it was pseudo. After I've been doing this, y'all know, everybody in other groups know I've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good build, y'all. Good build.
Oh, I'm trying to get this mute button right. I was unmuted the whole time. I thought I was muted. But yeah, I see these the patterns you got back here.
Right. That's what I was trying to tell them, that this was like, those are the sound waves that we don't be hearing, that be shooting through our bodies, and it's called cymatics, right? And he wasn't, he just wasn't hearing me on that, right? And I'm like, bro, this is a whole study. You could do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? This one dude, he had got a string and he was hitting it. He was pulling it against the edge of this little metal plate with some sand on it, right? And when he said, they made a beautiful pattern. Dude said it blew his mind, right? But that's the same thing that be happening, right? And if these waves are going through us, right, just imagine what those negative waves are doing to our bodies when through us. Just imagine what the negative ones are doing. That's all I was saying, But he wanted to call it pseudo without looking into it or anything. And when a person says that, it just makes me think that they're full of scientism. I believe in the Most High. I do science, and I recognize a whole bunch of science, but that's not my backbone, and that's not who I lean on. You know what I'm saying? You want to say thank you, boy? What do you say? What do you think? What do you think? Thank you. Say it. Use your words. I can't hear you. All right. You're welcome.